All right. Right into streaming. I literally got off work 10 seconds ago. All right. I'm a little bit sick today, so we're gonna see how this goes. Test, 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 test. Okay, good. My microphone is working. Highlight. I have a heater over here. It's keeping me warm. Hope you all aren't too cold. Gotta clock out. Okay. We're chilling. Why does it say my bitrate? No, my bitrate's good. I don't know why it shows it as red. Hi, Frog. I am sick today, so I'm gonna be a little bit low energy. I apologize in advance. Trying to see. 18th was the last day. We saw that. We saw that. We saw that. So it's from the 19th on. All right. It's gonna be a long one, but we'll get through it. Hi, Mika. If any of the staff want to come in here and help me read, I do have a sore throat, so like I would not be mad. But that's totally up to you. I also have a different setup. I finally have my 2 monitors, and I finally have my backdrop so you don't see the creepy basement anymore. I'm feeling like worse and better. It's like, I don't know, you know how like when you feel you got like achiness all over and you just feel sick? That's how I feel right now. Sore throat is a lot better than it was yesterday. But I'm gonna look rough. You guys are gonna see me and be like, what the hell? Freya looks sick. I do look sick. Ugh. Shadow, hello. No more creepy basement. It's true. I think it's a good thing. I need to cut my bangs. I was thinking about cutting them on stream, but I don't want to get hair everywhere. I'll probably cut them off stream. Balios, thank you for, I forget if that's subscribe. Yeah, the tier 1 sub, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. That all goes towards helping the SMP be better and keeping me and Virgil fed. Do it on stream? I can. I'll go get scissors. Actually, I have some right here. Let me just grab a towel so I don't have hair all over the place. I will cut my bangs on stream. You guys can continue with the crane game. Alright, I'm back. That's the last one. Here we go. Oh, where's my camera? Hello? There we go. Ta-da! I'm in the void. I need to set up my stuff a little bit better so that it's not, because when I open up anything that's white, it does that to me. So maybe, hold on, maybe we can do this. Configure video. Exposure. That's a little better, but I am in the void. But if I do it anymore, it like gets blurry. It's like that gif of me. So I could do like, this is the best. I look really greasy because I'm sick. You're gonna buy me some lights? Thank you. I have all of my lights and everything are at home. Virgil has given me a singular lamp from beside his desk, so now he's in the dark. He's so generous. I could do this. Okay, this is good. Okay, the problem is when I do that, it goes away. So maybe, oh shit, now it's, hold on. Okay, auto exposure's fine. Auto exposure's fine. I will just keep it like this for now. You have that exact same lamp? I think everyone does. I grew up with a lamp exactly like that. Okay, you ready for me to cut my bangs? Because here we go. I have a towel here. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna take off my headphones. I've only done this like twice, and once it turned out really bad, and once it turned out really good, so. I think these are my bangs. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Are these also bangs? Kind of. I don't think those are bangs. I think that's not bangs, and that's not bangs. Okay. How should I do them? As a former Genshin player, I like those odds. Alright, look how they're really low. So I need to them to be a little taller, you know? A V, 50-50? Where do I go, guys? I'm kidding. I think I need them to be like eyebrow length, right? So a good inch. I don't want to get hair everywhere. I'll put that. It's gonna be over the mic, so you're not gonna hear me as well. I apologize. I'm gonna sound muffled. This is lore right here. These are not very sharp scissors. Oh, fuck! My headphone thingy came off. Okay. Hold on.
Chat, don't tell her I'm here.
I can't hear you, Mika, because I don't have my... Okay, I'll do
God
this.
damn it!
What are you saying?
I was trying to be like scare you.
Oh. Okay. That's not short enough, in my opinion. I think I need them to be a little bit shorter. Yeah, they're not short enough. They're too long. It's better to be too long than too short, right? Okay, let's do another like half an inch. Okay, it's still too long, I think. Yeah, it's still in my eyes. Okay. A little shorter. Okay, I think that's a good length. I don't know. Is this a good length? Because I'll texture it. Cut more vertically. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do like this next. I just want to like get the length off first. All right, looks good. Okay. And my hair, because I part my hair so much, it never, you know, I just want it out of the way, mainly, so that it falls a little bit better, frames my face. That's better, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like chopping a little bit of this. Virgil and I were supposed to get a haircut, but all the places around us were like an hour wait, and we didn't want to do that. You have a natural Dora hair placement? What does that mean?
You know how Dora has like the middle
Who's in
part
here? What?
naturally?
Did someone say something, or am I crazy?
The middle part naturally.
Oh, the middle part is the Dora part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a almost middle part naturally.
I
All right,
used to have one, but then my hair went curly, so.
Oh yeah, I used to have a perm. That was fun. I want to do a perm again. Hi, CJ.
Hello.
All right, I'm gonna show Virgil and return the scissors. I'll be back, and then we'll get started.
We get into train stream. Let's go. Okay, guys. Make sure you guys get the clips of the hair cutting. Hold up, I'm working on getting the clip.
Lock in, crop,
Lock in.
zoom in, amplify, big red circle with comically large arrows.
Yeah, basically. Oh wait, I cannot clip it because Twitch does the stupid thing. Okay, I was gonna have to wait until Freya uploads the recording of the stream.
Which does many stupid things. It's not something new.
Oh yeah, what I said earlier we were talking about what is it Comic-Con? I think I only went to one Comic-Con and it was the least enjoyable
CJ,
experience in my life. Yeah.
No. No.
No?
Let me join in on the stream, please.
Okay, I mean, I'll let you, but I feel bad for you.
It'll be fine. I've been up later, you know this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do.
I promise I won't fall asleep this time.
Okay.
I still feel bad for that.
All right. First up, curiosity. Oh, sorry, the filter. My bad. All right, this is Vathros. I came to Solace after my planet got wiped of all its inhabitants. Besides me and my fellow worshipped companions of the planet, I flew here on my own. It looked interesting and had people on it. Although my companions went to explore the other planets further out, I wish they'd come with me. They have much more knowledge than I do. When I landed, I was in awe. It was beautiful, so I made a house, though I ended up accidentally blowing it up trying to make potions. I also tried new foods. I was told they're not healthy for us, but was I even human? Did I have nerves, a heart, or even an internal system? I just know that pennies taste good. So does Windex. Windex is canon? I have hair going into my eyes right now. Ah. I do know that I like these things called fish. They're so cool looking. Those are the things you should eat, not Windex. I also recently joined the hospital to help there, though a lot has happened just a little bit after I joined. I will be busy, I guess. Imagine your first day being the day that Balios flew through this ceiling.
Oh my god.
Damn, crazy weather we're having, huh? Velios crashes through the ground, causes you concussion.
I shall be on my happy way now. I still have plenty to learn. Be happy, be free, and embrace the chaos within yourself. Faithros.
Peace.
From CJ. I'm gonna pop the hidden link here because Freya missed a chunk of the poem. What? I did?
Yeah, you
Mm.
did.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is this all it is?
Well,
Okay. This is what I missed. I missed.
you read until the sun part and then missed the rest of it.
Really? I gotta look back.
If you have to scroll down. You just missed the second page. That's all you missed.
Oh. Okay. Shepard's first steps. The ghost watched as chaos ensued or ensured. Mind a heavy mess.
Ensured.
Rebuilding he wished to assist with, but he worried of more distress. The screams of the dragon, handled like an animal, tore at the ghost's absent heart. But his gaze lingered to the soulless warden, who he felt mercy for from the start. An empty bed. I feel like I read this.
You did. It's just the second page.
Oh, the second page. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I'm getting it. Sorry. The ghost stands as chaos ensured, raging and grieving screams behind. A pulse threatened to choke him raw, as an old rage creeped like a whisper in their mind. Not the time, chanted the ghost, the reminders and temptations drowned back below. Emotions may pass, but they are too slow. People need me, I need to go. He turned back to the shouts behind, facing the white building of frights. The cries of the dragon was what remained, tired of all her fights. The ghost rested a hand within his voided chest, gaze set, yet eyes a hollow tin. He will fix his mistakes. Blood-related or war-made, he wished to assist all his kin. Croy and Kron just make me so sad. I want them to be happy. Actually, CJ, if you don't make them happy right now, you're fired.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll pack up my stuff.
Guys. No!
I'll pack up my stuff and move back to Ireland. I'll
Frown
just move
SMT.
slightly to the right.
I freaked.
A Cave of Lies. A first meeting with Kiri's and a fun game to her. Thank you for this opportunity to me to write this, Kaiser. It's very fun to do. If Lore reads this, beware that it is 1.2 thousand words, so skip it if you wish. I think the limit is 3,000, so you're fine. A Cave of Lies. A normal supply run, that's all that Judas wanted, all that he intended on. Judas trailed upon a cave, seemingly untouched, besides a few large scratch marks. No problem, it was probably just a wild animal that needed to sharpen its claws. He held onto the handle of his pickaxe with a strong grip, holding a torch outwards to the endless shadows that covered the caves in a mask of darkness. The cave was silent, eerily silent, almost to the point that he could hear his own overactive thoughts. As the light poured out from the torch, the light hit a figure, causing its eyes to reflect back toward him before immediately darting away. Judas slightly jumped at the sight of the unidentified figure, but he quickly composed himself. Mind getting rid of that light? It's hurting my eyes, you bum, a voice called out at him, a seemingly snappy one at that. Judas paused himself, thinking of a reply that he wouldn't regret on saying later on. I need to see this through. Or I need this to see through. He kept his grip tight on the handle of his torch, ushering himself forwards to see whoever or whatever this person is. The person in question didn't show any hesitance to walk up to him. In fact, they leapt up and grabbed the torch from his hands with an amused giggle. Judas widened his eyes, looking towards her direction. Hey! Every flame dies, my friend, and this flame, it will be cut short rather abruptly. She lowered her tone of voice towards the end of the sentence, her gaze shooting up to look at him with a sinister sneer before the small flame was extinguished, by her clawed hand. So, what you doing here? You look funny. Her voice echoed through the walls, her presence not seen but somewhat audible as she dragged her chained tail across the ground. Judas held tighter onto his pickaxe, taking a quick look around to look for the person that was swarming him with questions rather unthoughtfully. I'm just here to gather some supplies. What's your problem, dude? I need that light to see, he grumbled out loud, moving around every few seconds to make it seem like he knew where she was, even if he didn't at the time. The figure seemed to dwell on his complaint for a short moment, before she jumped up and slammed the torch back into his hand. The torch itself lit a flame right after she did so, as if it was magical. There you go, weirdo. She mocked his need for a light. For her, it was perfectly visible within the cave. Judas tensed up at the torch that wound back up in his hand so quickly, let alone with a reignited flame. Oh, thanks, I guess? He stared at the flame momentarily, inspecting it like it was some sort of witchcraft. How did you... No questions from you, big guy. The name's Keres. I forget, is it Keres? I think it's Keres, not Keres. The only kind demon that you'll ever meet. She yelled out a small mumbled praise, as if she was cheering herself on like some hero. Before Judas had a second to think to himself to think, she jumped onto his shoulder like a perched bird, poking him directly in the forehead. You look funky, you know that? Kind of like a hellhound, but funnier. Judas opened his mouth to reply with a denying comment, but she kicked off his shoulder and leapt back onto the ground with ease, leaving him as silent as wind on a calm weather day. He looked down at Keres, keeping his feet planted on the ground, fighting the anticipation to kick her like some random bug. You... Keres, was it? I don't know what your problem is, but you're being hella forwards. I'm not your friend. I didn't even know who you were until 5 seconds ago, for goodness sake. He flung his arms outward to exaggerate the final few words, a small ember flying from the lit torch. Oh, my bad, I should have said. I heard of someone before, something along the lines of Salora? She tilted her head, looking eager to hear his response, masking any sort of amusement or ill intent. Judas immediately tensed at the mention of the name, stumbling over his words. What? How do you... Who? He was cut off by her whispering a shh, smiling innocently. Her and I go way back, my friend, even before she kicked the bucket. Familiar, no? Keres rubbed the chain on her wrist, looking down at it with slight annoyance, letting out a small scoff. Judas swallowed his momentary fear, lowering his pickaxe until it clattered to the ground. He took a small breath, deciding to question her again. What is your reason for bothering me? He stared down at Keres, who seemed like she anticipated this question from a mile away. Glad you asked. I just thought that someone like you, someone with no friends, could use one. After all, I bet that everybody hates you anyway. She giggled at the last part, finding it funny in a cruel way. But hey, I don't, and if anything, I think that you should show them your potential, what you're worth, what you can do. She jumped back onto his shoulder, curling her tail around his arm for balance. I know that you want to prove yourself, right? They all hate you. Judas almost let her negative words get to him, but he let out a disagreeing huff, shaking his head. No, I don't need to, and I wouldn't just kill somebody like that without a price. Keres' ears perked up when he mentioned a price, quickly forming a plan. I've got some diamonds and stuff, even a ton of iron. How about that? She tapped her claws together, awaiting some sort of agreement, and extended out her hand out for him to shake. Judas side-eyed her, instead swatting her hand away like a fly. Not happening, demon. He knew better, easily being able to tell that it was a lie, and a bad one at that. Keres growled back, jumping off his shoulder and crossing her arms behind her back, slowly walking away from him until she made a sharp turn to stare up at him. You're lost, weirdo. Judas frowned upon hearing that same word again. Weirdo. Hey, at least I have common sense. He knelt over and picked his pickaxe back up, turning to leave the cave. Keres kicked a small stone on the ground, crossing her arms like an upset child. She picked her head back up, leaving a half-insulting comment as he walked away. Fine then, you boneheaded loser. No fun is what you are. Judas took little to no offense towards the comment, instead feeling a bit uncomfortable about the demon. Definitely crazy. As he left the area, he was dead silent, thinking over what Keres said. What if everyone really did hate him? That's fine. The cave fell silent once more, and Carrie stood at the entrance, seeing no trace of Judas anymore. She grinned to herself, looking back, ashamed that a flame so dull could ignite such a fight. And with that, she disappeared into the cave's shadows once more. Well written. Good job.
I really like the what is it? I don't know, the little mischief on just on the
Yeah.
way they spoke.
It
The
was
little
good.
petty comments is cool.
Yeah. I like the banter was pretty good, and like the description of how like there was a lot of, what they say, like show don't tell, instead of just being like, this is how this person felt towards the other. There was a lot of body language there. It was very good.
I love when like two characters just banter, even like
Yeah.
mainly when they're family. It always just feels like really really cute.
Yeah. All right. Log from Angel. Do either of you want to read something? Let me know if I'm just taking over here.
I don't mind.
I could just also keep going if you guys want to just be commentary. I just
If you want, I can read Angel's one.
Okay, go ahead.
I just need to find it on my phone because I'm
First
not
one of
opening it
November
up on the
20.
Okay. Yep. There we go. Right. Log 11. I just realized that there are probably more people that know I'm alive than I thought. I mean, yeah, it makes sense with the amount of time I've been alive, but I was hoping there wasn't. As of recently, I've been trying to decide on going to the hospital. Do I want to go? Absolutely not. I hate hospitals. They freak me out. Almost everyone I knew who went in a hospital never came out. Though I do know that if I don't go, I could die from what's going on with me, if I'm right. I've left it untreated for far too long. Aside from that, I found this weird book at my house. I put it in a chest underneath a lot of other junk, sentimental items, and just random items. If I remember correctly, the book had some sort of warning. I'm not sure. This is what it said. Don't be fooled. I'm always watching. I hope you're well and finding what you seek. I only wish to guide you, to keep you on the path you've grown. You're never far from me, no matter where you roam. Know I'm near and everything will be all right. Kind of weird for a letter, huh? I do hope it isn't him, though. I don't think I can handle much of his words. They're suffocating. Oh, God.
Angel, try not to write. I say this every time, but Angel, try not to write detrimental lore. Challenge if possible.
Angel, try not kill off their characters. Challenge
It's so
impossible.
true.
Lighthearted there. I love the story of all. Because like
Yeah.
I know stuff already, so.
All right. Magos lore. Repairing damaged memory. Error. Memory impairment semi-successful. Memory damaged. Come on, Solvex, wake up. We have a busy day today. Light fills my eyes as the weight of my eyelids lifts, but sleep calls my name still. Something metal hit me in my gut, fully bringing me awake. Magos Solvex, memory damaged. Don't do that. I swear you upgraded that arm just to punch me. I can still see her in her purple cloak. She was in the Vertex family while I was a Magos. Her cybernetic arm shined with the lights of our underground city beating down upon it. However, I can't recall her face because it appears to me as black static. I knew her for my whole life. Memory damaged. Well, I have to wake your lazy bum somehow. Today is an important day for me because... Magos Solvex. Today's the day you get your scarabs! You've been counting the days down since you joined the Vertex family. Oh my god, scarab origins. Memory damaged.
Scarabs!
Well, yeah, you're just jealous that my family allows this tech and yours doesn't. I'm gonna decorate them. Hear me out. Bows on top of their heads. Oh my god, it's like what
Yes.
Mira did. Error. Memory closing. My scarabs. Her scarabs. They were the last gift she gave me. I'm truly saddened that I can't remember the face of my wife. Ah!
Oh. Wife found dead in woods.
Wife found dead in
Wife
woods.
found dead in woods.
Oh no.
Wife found dead by scarabs.
We have from Divinity and Obscenity.
No,
down
the
this
aura
way,
farm.
The Aura Farmer, indeed. Alright, here we go. Atop that mountain he stood, and atop that mountain he screamed. He screamed to the gods, but the gods did not hear his words. They only heard his actions. And his actions echoed. And the echoes told the gods the world was ripe for cleansing. All right, you're gonna try to do something.
I think there was one at the bottom.
Yeah, it was just it's the person we keep seeing, Herod Oceate, Cleanse of Conquest or whatever.
Okay.
We've
Yeah.
been seeing it every time. I don't know who it is.
I don't fucking know either.
This account enrages me. I want to know who you are. The hospital visit. Belios woke up in the ICU room. Oh, let me turn the music back on. He groaned as he weakly sat up. In a chair in the corner, Kathy was sitting, knitting what looked to be a scarf. Belios glared at her, feeling the burning of the poison on his face began. Leave, now. Oh, darling, calm down. I'm just watching over you. I'm not harming you, though I do have the cure for the poison in your veins, Kathy said with a smug smile. Go fuck yourself, Belios growled. You know how many you got killed. 3 gods, Sethos and Malus are injured. Romus ran, and it's all your fault, Kathy said, standing from the chair. Belios grabbed the bar of his bed with his right hand, leaving a dent. Leave, and if I see you again, I'll make sure you will never be seen, he growled, trying to get up. Don't strain yourself, darling. I'm leaving anyways, Kathy said as she walked out the door, and looking back through the window and vanishing. Belios groaned as he made it to his feet shakily before falling down to the ground with a grunt, holding his abdomen and torso. He curled up into a ball. I need Kathy to get punched in the face.
Oh.
Mhm.
Why
Punch the
the old lady?
Maggot.
She's totally not doing anything evil.
Magus, get the old lady.
Yeah, Magos, send out those scarabs on her.
Magus was right the entire time. I had my suspicions, but I kind of just let it settle, and then Magus is like, evil old lady, and now she is an evil old lady. Calling it.
I just realized I haven't been looking at chat at all. I apologize. Yeah. Go to the options real quick. Because I'm supposed to have the little ping every time.
Oh yeah, Freya, I do apologize. There will be a big doc that you might be reading. Nothing above 5 pages, but just relatively bigger than what I usually read.
Okay. Excited?
Ooh.
Okay, the ding is not working for me for some reason. Weird.
It's not dinging.
The ding is not dinging. Okay, but if I do that, everyone can hear that. That's annoying. Huh, weird. I don't know why the ding isn't working, but whatever. Okay. CJ. Mentions of implied murder and sacrificing rotten flesh. Alright.
Mhm.
You never know what's gonna happen with content warnings. I'm not sure where I am right now. Well, I know I'm in Miss Water Spirit's home, but I don't exactly know where that is. Morana, that goddess who put replicas of my own head and random blood in my house, she found me before I passed out and took me here. She said that she and Miss Water Spirit, or Milena, would help me. That it was bad that people left me alone. She didn't listen when I tried to tell her what exactly happened, kept shushing me and talking to me like I was an idiot, patting my head and poking me like something cute she found in a forest. It was weird. She did fix my eyes, though, and my headache. I feel more tired, though, and heavy. She gives me this dark blue medicine to help with the pain and make me feel better. I think it's a slide effect. I would hear Miss Guide and Dr. Beetle talk about those in the hospital. Shit, I hope Miss Guide isn't mad at me. She's already really sad and hurt. I don't want to hurt her more. Croy would help her though, right? Oh gods, he might be mad at me too. We just found each other a few days ago and I ran away when he was gone fixing something I did. I just wanted to go home though. It's just me and Miss Water Spirit right now. I was helping her with her farm earlier. She let me have some carrots. I still have some of the ones from Mr. Fisherman too. She has this altar thing though. She said it's for Marana. She said that she offers the dead to her. That explains the rotting flesh and bones that were put in front of it. I hid the skeleton arm under my sleeping bag just in case. I'm going to go soon. It's just a little difficult. Marana or Melina keep catching me just before I do. I do explain, or at least I try to, but they keep both insisting I was still sick. Marana especially kept saying weird things about Croy, how I shouldn't trust him, that if I was needed home, Croy would have found me by now. That doesn't make sense. Croy is looking for me. We're just really, really far. I hope that's it. Melina goes out to get food often, so I just need to sneak out when she does. It's just Marana I might need to worry about. Kron. Escape, Kron!
Uh-oh.
Content warning, mention of gun use, chemicals, and child injury. Also, afraid if you can, Ambush has an eccentric, slightly French man accent.
Oh,
I gotta
God.
pull out the little French man.
Wait.
Wee.
Oui.
Wait, Freya, can you do us a sample sentence?
A sample sentence? I don't even know if I can do any sentence. What do I say? No, you guys are just gonna have to
No.
figure it out as we go on. This is gonna be the worst French accent you've ever seen in your life, but here we go.
It'll be fine.
Who is it that has it? It's Ambush. Of course, Ambush has a slightly exotic French accent. Okay. You guys are gonna laugh at me. I was watching, as I always do. Wait, am I supposed to read this whole thing in a French accent?
I don't know.
I was
so.
wondering.
I was watching, as I always do. Rage simmering deep in my...
You sound like a vampire. Blah, blah, blah. I was walking around, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, I'm only reading any dialogue in a French accent. Rage simmering deep in my bones, a venomous heat that never fades. My pulse pounded with the relentless certainty of conflict, every muscle taut, every sense sharpened by that familiar poison, hate. Go more vampire? Bleh. The child, still heartbreakingly young, but growing sharper, harder with each passing day, moved with a lethal grace, their swordplay carving the air with purpose. Yet Z was never satisfied. Now the child wore a blindfold, forced to listen for the world's threats, to fight with nothing but sound and instinct. It was a lesson balanced on the knife's edge of cruelty, and my hate seethed at the risk. Then Z produced a gun. My loathing for this world and its dangers boiled higher. The metallic click of the chamber, the crack of a shot, those became the new lessons. I knew Z wouldn't shoot them on purpose, and yet every bullet that hissed past, close enough to graze, fed the fire in me. No one should have to learn this. But danger already prowled solace, and I could not let this world take from me again. Then everything fractured. Fuck, what just happened? I looked away for the briefest instant, and in that heartbeat disaster struck. The child collapsed, writhing, agony ripping through their cries. Okay, wait. Z? I'm guessing Z is not the French one. Maybe...
No.
No, okay.
Ambushes. That's the one who's talking in the I, myself. First person.
Oh, maybe I should have been speaking in a French accent. Z is alt version of Sinithra. Oh, okay. Maybe I should be speaking a French. I'll go French. The child collapsed, writhing, agony ripping through their cries. I can't do this. Kids,
Don't do
stay.
that, please.
Wait.
Don't die.
You know, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Kids, stay still. I have to get the chemicals out of your eyes. Z was frantic, hands shaking as they tried to wipe the burning liquid from the child's face. I scanned the yard. I can't do this. Fear sharpening my vision. There.
Eclipses.
Barrels, leaking, hissing, marking with warnings even fools would heed. Flammable. My hate surged, black and bottomless, as I realized what had happened. The chemicals had splashed into the child's eyes. Hospital. I had to get them to the hospital. But what if? No. I refused to let this universe claim them. Truffle. They're a nurse. They'll know what to do. I burst from the shadows, my presence a storm of wrath, refined by sheer will. Z fired at me, bullets lost to my fury. Only Zenithra mattered, her pain, her cries, and the terror that she might never see again. Please, it hurts, I can't see. Her voice tore at me, stoked the hate that fueled my existence. Maybe it was already too late, but hate does not surrender. I teleported, swift as rage, driven by a promise of vengeance and protection, to the bench where a truffle sat, stubborn and necessary. Before they could speak, I thrust Zenithra into their arms, voice raw and edged with fury. Hospital! Now! Then I vanished, hate and shadow entwined, stalking their path as they sped towards salvation. Every step was a silent vow. I would not let this world take what is mine, not while hate still burns within me. Oui, oui.
Jesus Christ.
Wait. This was
Wee
perfect,
wee.
guys. Chat, everybody clap.
No. I used to, when I played Apex, I was a Watson main, so I would always do her voice lines in, like, the French accent that she has. Wait, hold on. What's a Watson voice line? Watson voice line. What's a good one? Fenced him in? Fenced him out? But I can't say very well now, because, yeah. Stop clipping me!
Why?
Stop clipping
Legalize
me.
nuclear bombs.
Oh.
Legalize nuclear bombs! Great. Okay, content warning, gore, chemical burns, and child injury. Alright, no French accent this time, thank God. Nobody wants to hear that.
I do.
No, you do
I do.
not. Be glad I don't do an Italian accent for Marcello.
Please. Please, you won't be hilarious.
No! I keep looking at myself at the camera, I'm just, like, blinded. Okay. Birds chirping and flowers wilting. It was another monotonous day. I was shopping at the marketplace for some apples, wondering over the difference between Pink Lady and Gala. They were all mostly the same, right? Sure, there are some sour ones like Granny apples, but my point still stands. And then suddenly there was screaming, crying, red. I just heard myself. Ambush stood in front of me, towering into the sky. He held Zenithra in his arms. The poor child was thrashing the best she could in his arms. The shadow then suddenly threw her to me before melting back into the ground, no doubt watching from some shady area. Zenithra had some kind of sticky substance on her eyes. It seems to be sizzling, burning. I finally came out of my shocked state and started running, fast as I could, to the hospital. Hospital! Light was there, working the front desk. She immediately rushed over to me and took Zenithra into her arms. I followed as she ran into a room. Once there, she seemed to use some kind of magic to help the poor child. They stopped thrashing around and the screams were reduced to small, hiccuping sobs. Another doctor I didn't recognize came in and started helping Light clean the odd chemical off their face. In the end, the area around their eyes was entirely bandaged up. They were passed out, exhausted from what had just happened. Gauze covered the other areas of their body that had had a wide array of injuries, scrapes, cuts, and bullet grazes. Just how neglectful could I have been for Seraphine's child, under my care, to have gotten hit by bullets? Just where had Zenithra been dragged to? Yet I was still useless. Uselessly sitting by her bed, listening to the heart monitors beeping like a clock's ticking. I didn't know how long I was there before I decided to stand up, leaving the hospital and starting to make my way back home. Zenithra would probably be bored out of their mind once they woke up, or would possibly need something to get their mind off of things. so I was going to get their favorite book, one written by me. Once I got to the basement, I called home. The first thing to catch my eye was the porcelain teapot and teacup set on the coffee table. There were 2 teacups. One was already half empty and the other was still steaming hot. A note sat on the floor nearby, pen slightly smudged. Hello, Truffle Balatro. I would like to apologize on both my behalf as well as Ambush's. I would love to meet with you sometime to discuss who I am and why I am here. It was signed by someone named Chaos. I just ignored it. That was a problem for later. Instead, I grabbed the booklet off the fridge, and the magnet that was holding it fell to the floor. It was extremely crude considering I had made it out of a notebook, paper, and crayons. The book was one I had remembered from my own childhood, Alice in Wonderland. Zenithra's favorite part was always when Alice chased the rabbit with a clock. Mine was when she confronted the Queen of Hearts. I got back to the hospital as soon as possible. Zenithra was still asleep. There were still things I wanted to do. The book would be sitting on their nightstand for when they woke up at the very least. I was about to leave the hospital again when Light was mumbling something before she stopped me in the hallway. She seemed sad, guilty even. Truffle, I'm sorry. Zenithra is blind due to the chemical burns she has received. I'm so sorry for... I tuned out the rest of what Light had said, instead opting to run to Zenithra's room. They were still asleep, still innocent to what had happened. Just as quickly as I entered, I left. I ran out of the hospital and back to my house. If anything happened on the way, then I certainly couldn't remember considering my panicked state. There were only 2 items I needed, a pencil and a paper, lots of it. I went back down the hill and into Zenithra's room. Back on my planet, one of my cabinet members was born blind, reading in Braille. If I was in my office, I could use a special typewriter that wrote in Braille. However, when on the battlefield, I would have to punch the holes into paper manually to correspond with her. I still remember the little dotted patterns for each letter of the alphabet. I spent the entire night sitting there with my crude handmade book open, pencil and paper in my hands. I punched holes into the sheets of paper, translating the words into Braille. With the few pieces of paper I had left, I made an alphabet chart and some simple sentences. By the time I was done, the sun was shining and leaves were falling, leaving the trees bare. I couldn't help but cry at the fact that Zenithra was still asleep. Oh, this is so sad. It's so sweet.
Well, that's heartbreaking.
Ah!
Aw.
Hi, Glitch.
Hey, Glitch.
Hi.
Jump scare, Jesus. Hi,
They've been
Glitch.
there the entire time. We
man.
just didn't say anything because we didn't want to interrupt you.
That's fair.
See, what is it? I want to scare Freya, but the only way I can scare Freya is by scaring her by with sanity.
You know what? That's valid. Well, that was sad.
That was really sad. It was really sweet, though.
I popped in like about halfway through that. Was not prepared for. What is it with these hoe children and getting hurt?
I don't
Is it
know.
a
You tell me. You took like 2 to expedition.
I think I only took 1 to an expedition. All right, she didn't get that hurt. All right, Sunny's fine.
Sure.
We're not starting this, alright? Let's just get on with reading.
Valid.
You don't need... If you want to argue, then go into your in-character interview.
Oh yeah, Glitch, I am recording that thing for you after this. I'm sorry. Literally
No,
10
it's okay. I'm
seconds
not-
after I got
I'm not
off my
pressed for time.
shift, I like clocked out, started streaming immediately.
I'm not pressed for time, so don't die trying to get it
Yeah,
to me.
no, I'm good. It'll be good cuz like I'm sick and my voice will be tired after this, so I'll be able to do like a deep gravelly voice for you.
You'll be able to sound like the corporate wage slave that the wardens are. Oh yeah, those are corporate worker wardens that you are playing.
Cool. I'm excited.
So it works.
All right. The Casimirs, a notorious family on Hinoki, often referred to as the catalysts of war. Some images are censored for blood. Let me do this. I think that's probably wide enough. Wait, maybe I could do less. Just kidding. Why, Ada? Why did you do it? How do you choose one life over dozens? Selfishness is unbecoming of a god. They knew that better than you. Lizard. No! Not the glasses. Oh my god. So what happened?
I think they lost Monopoly.
That's crazy. Did Ada kill a bunch of people?
It's like, is that Ada? Yeah, looks like. Yeah, it looks like she murdered a bunch of people, including the. Is that Casimir in the first one?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is Casimir. That's Ada. Isn't this like Casimir's family, like parents or something?
They look related, and it says the Casimirs.
Yeah.
Is Casimir his last name or their last name? Yeah, his last name?
Yeah, I forget his first name, but Casimir is his last name.
Okay.
So Cypher's last name. They are not related.
Okay, I was about to ask.
All right, from CJ, getting a little anxious. Oh my gosh, it's like
Oh, Croy!
Oh.
Ah, my heart.
Yeah, he was freaking out.
aw. Find Kron, missing 3 days, bunch of math, Balius crash. Oh, is this trying to find Kron after the crash?
Yeah.
Oh. Check factions, check house, check hospital, check cameras. Ask at faction meeting, nothing will be done. Ask Waters,
Hey.
maybe. Check Balios, make sure light is okay, check Opal. Possible kidnapping. And that one's starred. Link's stupid, but not that stupid. Okana. We haven't seen Okana recently, I'm kind of scared.
Me too.
Kathy, no real motive. Ambush, Milena.
He's okay. I will say Okana is, he is active. Just
Active!
behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Just not written down on paper, I'm gonna assume.
Looks like a nuke screen. Yeah, Croy's about to just nuke Solace. Right on the
No,
hospital.
he's
Balios
it's
was not
the
enough.
radius. No, it's just the radius thing. The
Yeah.
point there is around the spot where the best I could position it is where Kron's room was. So pretty much he climbed through the ceiling, onto the roof, jumped down and ran in whatever direction this is. And pretty much Croy calculated within the 3 days he had 78 to 79 hours travel. So that means injured, he would have traveled between 10 to 15 kilometers in a radius. So that's it.
Amazing.
It sounds
Just out of
crazy.
curiosity.
Hmm?
Just out of curiosity, which HOE base is that pointing to?
Old one.
The old one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. You can see the kind of swamp area, and you can see kind of it's X'd out, but you can kind of see Froggy's old house.
Oh, that's right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we have an SUNC thing, audio thing. Let me turn that up.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Notification that employee White visited the building on schedule for the night shift. Motion detected.
Oh, hey! You still working? I can help out wherever you need me. Just point me to the pile. How long have you been in the lab today? Waters? Dad? Are you alright? Right. That squid is glowing out there.
The squid?
Yes, out the window you were looking through.
Oh. Yeah, it is. It's a particular species that has evolved bioluminescence. It's like a chemical reaction with the skin to produce light. They use it to attract prey, communicate, things like that.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it is.
I found tapes in your pocket while you were in the hospital. There was a beeping and a red light. And I listened to them. Both of them. I know one was the attack. But the second one... What?
It's a contingency plan. Yeah, discussion between the 5 leaders of my planet, the Dorsa Command, and I don't know what she is. They called her the Wave Seeker. I thought that our planet was commanded by several individuals voting for decisions, but she was sole being actually in charge. That's what I learned that day. Moments before I started recording that tape.
Who was the one who said Ancia?
Matt, Aaliyah's father. Head of biological research, chemistry.
He was in charge of Ancia before you?
No, Miss UNC is different. And he never had an NC. Just was responsible for the research department.
We don't have to keep talking about this, but did you kill him?
Yeah, I did. He was the only one from the command left in the room, not only so.
I see.
What's the
That's
music? You hear that?
all I wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I think she saw me.
Who?
The Wave Seeker, before she disappeared, and the oceans went with her.
Did you guys hear that music?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm not, I can't. I wasn't listening. I was just reading it.
Yeah. What was with that?
Faintly heard it.
What I'm guessing is they're being watched. I'm guessing.
Ooh.
Huh. This is them talking about an audio that hasn't been shown to anyone else but Light. Interesting.
and in the document, someone is deleting this file specifically by the administrator.
I say this every stream, but I love how many like parent-child relationships there are this season. It's peak.
I really
Yeah,
like that a lot
I
of people
love
are
them.
finding their family.
Found family is just gets me every time.
It's one of the best tropes. That's why I had to get in on it. Even
Yeah.
I think mine happened accidentally. Like when I said Freya can she can like scroll back and be like, oh yeah, this is the exact point where like I realized what I was doing by accident.
Yeah. We need to I told Virgil he needs to write another thing about Marcelo and Mira doing something together from his perspective, because there's so much from Mira's perspective, but we need something. He needs to get on it.
Yeah, Virgil, lock in.
Also, it's
Lock
me and
in,
Virgil's
Virgil.
4-year anniversary today. Fun fact.
Oh yes! Oh my god!
congratulations.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Oh my god!
Freak sweep!
Freak sweet!
Yeah, and I'm sick. And he's like super tired. And we had like a major discussion with some people today, and some drama with the internet going out because someone forgot to pay the bill. Not Virgil.
Damn.
And now we have no money, so I don't know if he's left already. He's gonna go get cereal and come back, and then hopefully I'll be done with the stream. And then we're gonna just watch Star Trek and pass out.
You know what? That's valid though.
Yeah. It does not feel like it's been
never,
4 years.
I've never seen Star Trek, so
You've
don't know.
never seen Star Trek?
nope.
You're not missing much.
What? Get out! Get out right now.
I'm sorry. was just
Bro's
raised
getting
on Star
fired.
Wars.
Bro's getting fired.
Get out. We love Star Trek here. Hi, Comet. Thank you
Freak
for
Sweep also 2 years.
2 years. Oh my gosh, it's me and Comet's 2-year sub anniversary.
Oh my god.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
Jeez.
Oh my god, we have to have a Star Trek watch party now. We have to.
Okay,
Like
which
that.
Star Trek?
don't know.
TNG.
I did not know that there was more than one. So
TNG's great, Voyager's great, Deep Space Nine we were in the middle of and it's finally getting good.
I don't mind the Orville.
I haven't watched past Virgil and I grew up watching TNG and we haven't watched any others, so that's what we're doing
I
right
don't
now.
know, man. I grew up on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and AFMAO. I
too
did not
old.
know about this.
That's so real. I grew up on Elf Mouth as well.
Yeah.
Star Wars and Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter as
Freya.
well. And Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson. The movies. I watched the movies, and then I read the books and realized how bad they were.
The movies are so much worse. Books are better.
The
Comet,
books are
our
phenomenal.
anniversary is so much more important.
The movie is awful.
Fuck Virgil. It's you and
What are
me.
you guys talking about?
Percy Jackson books and movies.
Oh yeah, I didn't know Percy Jackson existed until like I would say like 11th grade.
Yeah.
So like 3 years ago. Damn, it's been 3 years.
All right. This is more Waters lore. A guilty conscience lost, found again. Thankfully, no more French accent. I'm just waiting for another one to pop up where I have to do another French accent.
Wait.
Does Elia have a French accent? Do we headcanon that? Just kidding. Waters,
The
Myth, do not
monsters.
say whether or not anyone has an accent. I'm not.
Please, Miss, I'm begging you.
Neither of them have an accent. We've heard them. She does not.
Aw.
Good. Yes. Thank you. Another doc does pop up with ambush. Damn it. Okay. Memories and Mistakes, Flash 2. Around 20 years ago. Are these cameras even working? Alderic's eyes lift from the screen he was looking at to the figure leaning over him to the right. The blue and gold strands of her hair wash over his shoulder, but still frame her face kindly. Her brows are furrowed in a knot as her pale eyes scan the screen he was observing, but he doesn't really care about that video image anymore. They are working. There's just nothing happening right now. We'll have to be patient. Alderic replies with ease, a huff of amusement leaving him, anticipating her reaction, as he closes the image on the tablet. Ugh, that's so annoying. Why do they always send us out here when there's nothing happening? Elia groans, standing back up fully only to take a few steps and join him in sitting on the edge of the tall building they found as a scouting point. Because it's our job? Alderic speaks, giving her a passing glance before lifting the rifle up from where he propped it up beside him on the parapet. I've never seen that word before. I hope I'm saying that right. He holds the scope up to his eye and zooms the visual across the heads of a crowd in a warehouse across from them, then to a smaller group on a stage at the back. Ah, and because we can't prevent a revolution if we aren't certain there is even one happening. At the sound of Elia scoffing, he lowers the rifle to look at her instead. She's been tense ever since they set off on this mission. It took them 2 days to travel here by shuttle, and that feeling has never once settled, despite all of his best efforts. He's concerned about her. From what he's gathered, she's barely a year older than him, and yet every step of what she does is closely monitored by her father, Timmet. Or Timmet, I don't remember how to say it. Elia is set to be his protege, eventually take his position on the council, but neither of them seem ready for that transition. Pride always bites. Oh, come on. There's obviously a revolution happening down there. Elia cuts him from his thoughts by bumping shoulders with him. Is there now? He replies, amused. Yeah, there totally is. I mean, who would really want to be subjugated by the likes of Clintville Radiation and the rest of the shitty council? Alderic winces at the blatant butchering of the head director in charge of all NC units, including his own name. Deep within him, he combats the instinct to correct her. Shutting his eyes, he brings a hand up through the bubble of water she manifested around his head to rub his forehead. I don't think you should be calling them that. Who cares? It's not like they're listening today. Elia cuts him off with a dramatic wave of her arm. Well, that's a horrifying thought. The look he gives down to his rifle as he pulls the cartridge and checks the chamber translates that thought. It's clean, nothing is lodged or anything. It's a fresh rifle acquired just for the mission. He checked through every piece of it earlier in the day, disassembled it, put it back together. He is as familiar with this rifle as he is with the back of his hand. There's no reason to check it, it just gives him something to do. I told them not to listen, Elia says after a quiet moment. The request was accepted, probably because you're here. They listened to me completely, and trust you. It's a whole thing. Alderic lifts his gaze to her with a curious brow raised. As he recalls correctly, he hasn't even personally met a single member of the council, and yet, per her ruling, they trust him over her. The simple statement in and of itself reveals that he's monitored closely, whether it be on these missions or during his service in the military. Good to know. He snaps the cartridge back into the rifle. Right, I don't want to know. Ha, that's funny. Usually you want to know all about these kinds of things. Elia laughs, tilting into his space to rest her head on his shoulder. In return, he just shrugs, as his hands raise the rifle to view down the sight again to see that practically nothing has changed about the scene through it. 4 gallants on stage, screaming of a doom that extinguishes and drowns out the fires of their once great leaders, or something like the like. He stopped listening to the camera feed when the speech got too preachy. You want to see? He asks, while still aiming the sight at the man currently standing to the front of the stage with the mic. Oh, I absolutely do, she responds, as if it shouldn't have been a question to begin with. So he lowers the scope into her field of vision, watching her as she lines her golden eye up and keeping his finger over the trigger as her hand raises to brace it as well. For a moment like that, he's content just to watch her. The multicolored lights of this planet shine against her skin, making her seem as if she had just jumped out of an abstract painting and left with the stains of it. If he had ever stopped to entertain art before this point, he would see the beauty in the picture of it. But he never has the time and never does. For now, he just sees the beauty in her, just as she is right now. This would go so much faster if we just shoot him. Alderic, surprised, ducks his view to peer through the scope she still looks through. He only gets a glimpse of what she sees in the tiny magnified image sitting there, but enough to tell that she's been subtly moving the gun to track the movements of that guy from before, the preachy one. That's not standard procedure, he starts, adjusting his hold of the rifle to regain his sense of control over the object. There would be too many witnesses. It's too public. Word would spread around, and he'd become a martyr rather than an example, a forgotten name in history like we usually aim for. Elia smiles up at him from the corner of his vision. He tilts his head towards her to give her the look of disapproval head on. It's like she physically retreats at the sight of it, leaning back and releasing the rifle with a dramatic sigh as she tilts her face to the sky. That's one of my favorite bits, the contrast of him analyzing her lovingly and her just going, let's kill this fucking guy. It's so true. I love their dynamic. Look, it's clear that they want to petition this planet to join or form a revolution on their behalf, she states, sliding the tablet off his lap to gesture at the camera feed, which now has 2 of the members on the stage in its view. Why do we need to get their leader, or whatever documented stating it on camera so specifically? Instead of giving her the satisfaction of an agreement, he clicks the standing legs of the rifle up so it's less unwieldy as he swings his legs back over to the flat portion of the roof. There's a makeshift cot, the bags of their supplies, the scatterings of the tools he used to assemble the rifle on the rooftop earlier. It's what will be found when the scene is investigated later, intentionally set up and burned clean of DNA evidence long before this point. It is what they were told to do. There's a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Alderic turns around and drops into a kneel, snapping the legs of the rifle back out and propping them up on the parapet next to where she still sits. He stares through the scope at the head of the speaker instead of looking at her. I don't know, but you know I don't question the plans of the overseers. There's the sound of clothes ruffling as Elia makes the adjustment she needs to drop down by his side, her back against the parapet so she can face him. Though he doesn't watch her, he's forced to give her attention by pressing her hand to the barrel of his rifle, tilting the scope low and pushing his hands up a nudge. It's with a sigh that he leans back to look at her, but her expression is lighter, almost like guilt. Her brows are knitted up and her eyes don't look at him directly. It's almost apologetic. Why? It throws him off, drops his guard, though he hadn't realized he had lifted the guard to begin with. I'm not asking you to question it, love, she starts to say, leaning towards him. Then her hand raises to the back of his head, hooking into the tie that keeps his hair in place. Her skin shimmers and reflects rainbow scales in contact with the water around her hand. It branches down her arm and lights up the metal inlays on her face in a teal pulse. It's captivating, so much so he doesn't notice her leaning in until he realizes her lips are pressed against his. The reaction is quick, instinctive. Ooh! Sorry. His eyes drop shut and the tension slides off his shoulders effortlessly. It's like a breath of fresh air when she kisses him. Not the first, and definitely not the last, but always something he takes the careful time to take in every time it occurs. Like he's trying to capture every image of this time for a mental photo album he can look back on for times to come. Yet it ends so briefly. Is it chast or chase? I never remember. Kiss. Reading makes me realize how I can't pronounce words, or I've only ever read words. I haven't said them out loud.
Weird. English is a weird language.
It is, it's true. One he tries to follow when she retreats, much to her amusement. I'm just asking you to trust me, Elia asks, an incomplete statement. Then she tilts her head to the warehouse, knowing he's watching. His eyes follow, catching her silent conversation. And shoot the ones on the stage. There's silence. Then there's actually consideration. Alderac lowers his eye into the view of the scope. He factors in the winds of the planet, calculates how quickly he can fire this rifle in succinct shots to prevent targets from veering off from their current standing points. He calculates for if they do move, how much he'd need to adjust his current angle and how quickly in order to track and neutralize them. It would not take long. It would be over in a minute, maybe two. Gallants. They were a people of primordial flame, turned stone and ashen by the conquest of the Dorsa, known fire starters, not by reason of arson, but by the nature of their being. Not present on many other planets throughout the sector due to the hazards of their biology and the lack of environments that would not be ravaged by the simple presence of one on its surface. The fact that 4 of them managed to be allowed access onto a planet this advanced in its cityscaping and clustered structuring. It would not be far out of the question that unexpected gallants could lead to unexpected fires. And who would follow the words of the strangers? No, criminals who decimated their city. You're sure nobody is watching? Alderac asks, eyes 1,000 yards down the building and into the structure. I'm positive, Elia replies, voice low and soft next to his ear. Alderac shuts his eyes and takes a deep breath in. He leans back only to crack his neck to the side and readjust his angle to a more comfortable position. Elia leans back against the parapet with a smile on her painted lips. Then she peers over the edge of it with an eager anticipation. All right, he starts, looking back down the scope of his rifle with finger firmly over the trigger, its shot lined up with a man scarred by stone. It's not like anyone will miss some anarchist scum. There's no sound when the rifle fires, but it feels like a heavy bang. It racks his shoulder. 3 on the stage. Waters? He pulls a rod and the cartridge recharges. It fires again. Elia laughs. 2 on the stage. He pulls the rod. It recharges again. Seconds flat. 1 on the... Dad? The rifle fires again, like it's not within Waters' control. There's a clattering as objects are scattered about. A clash, a bang, a helmet he had forgotten about. A time that has passed, become anew. The bubbles of a breath held, being caught finally. There, around him, is the lab. SUNC. Right. He's here, not... Are you all right? But just moments ago, it was so vivid. It... Ooh, so that's what he was thinking about.
Oh my god, I love Ellie and Waters' relationship.
Same.
Thank you for making them being toxic. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my god.
What is Chase?
Because it's-
Thank you, Myth.
Oh my god, bro. I need to be fed more, bro. Waters.
I need to make fan art of them both.
We need fan art.
They set the city on fire after this to frame the Gallants and obscure their presence on the planet. This also references Elliot on social media saying, "Remember the city on fire." Oh, I see.
Oh.
I love OCSN. I need to go back and make more posts. The tooth thing was so funny. Virgil and I were giggling like schoolgirls over that. All right. Does someone else want to read the next one? I need to give my voice a break. That was long.
I can, since
Okay.
I never have.
Thank you.
Go on, Glitch.
All right. This one's from Wendigo. Haunting memories, Rotwood. Even after a long period of time, you can't forget those important to you. And for the content warning, may be sensitive to some for grievance purposes. Third post of the week. Haunting memories. The air was thin and heavy. A singeing pain slinking down Rotwood's throat. For such a distressing problem, why could he rest so easily in his own room that was meant for comfort? His headache felt like a storm, leaving him curled on the pile of hay that he called his own bed. A mental confrontation, a questioning to himself and to who he may be. He buried his head under his arms, trying to hold back tears. Only one subject of thought circulated through his mind, ones of negativity and regret, ones of fear. Who am I? She never knew me as what I am. She knew me as who I was. What is wrong with me? This isn't human. This isn't normal. I need help. I truly need help. They're dead because of me, the very one that they cared for. He shivered, lifting a singular hand up to stare at it through watery eyes, his fingers twitching and shivering around with restraint. His nails, which looked like those of some creature, specifically stayed in his view as he focused on them. This wasn't human, not at all, nor was how he looked. He slammed his fist down into the hay, letting out a guttural growl of anger that echoed throughout the empty air around him. Rotwood rested his chin against the hay, easing the angle of his head to stare at the flower pot that rested against the music box on the floor, looking at the wilted flower from his daughter. It was crippled, devoid of color. Besides that iconic orange eye in the middle of it, which stared back at him with no empathy, no emotion. He exhaled shakily, reaching out to the pot and slowly dragging it over. He began to sift through the dry and crumbling soil that the flower rested in, holding up a small dirty letter from the bottom of the pot. Rotwood held up the crumpled letter, smoothing out the paper carefully before he could see the familiar writing once again. I will always love you, and so will the kids. Stay safe out at that job, my love. There's nothing short of danger out in the ocean. I think that Buckley would say the same thing if he could talk. See you soon, Marshall. Make the sterling name strong. Oakley. His grip on the paper eased, but his shivering did not. He wiped the tears off his face, placing the note down beside himself. The room stayed silent, his breathing being the only thing that distracted his train of thought. After a few minutes of silence, he put the paper back in the pot and set it aside. There's no time to dwell, not any longer.
Damn. Rotwood.
Wife found dead in the woods.
Wife found dead in the woods.
Sorry.
Oh my god. We're never escaping from wife found dead in woods.
Bro, Rodwood's like, oh man, I feel so bad for him.
Rotwood was supposed to be the comic relief. This is sad.
It's always the silly characters, bro.
It's so true.
First we had Waters. Then we got oh my god. We have this.
SMP Lord.
Frog is a good oh god, Frog is a good example of that. Oh god.
Here comes the French accent. Oh no.
Oh no.
Death of a lover and French. You have been warned. Altair has the French accent. Old Ambush didn't. He has more of a transatlantic accent. Okay, I can do that, I guess.
I can try doing the French accent if you want to take it off you.
No, I got it. I can do it. I'm already committed to it. Get ready for the worst French accent and worst transatlantic accent you've ever heard in your life. Long before they became legends, Altair and Ambush met in the vast, silent expanse of space. Ambush, the demigod of hatred, drifted alone among the stars, bored and restless. For eons, he wandered the cosmos, his heart a furnace of untamed emotion, his mind searching for anything to break the monotony. The universe was cold, endless, a place where even hatred could grow weary. Then, in the shimmering distance, he saw a glimmer of life, a radiant being weaving trails of starlight. Altair, the god of life, was painting nebulae with color and coaxing new worlds to blossom. Where Altair went, creation followed, and the blackness of the void seemed a little less lonely. Curious, Ambush floated closer. At first, he kept his distance, suspicious and aloof, but Altair noticed him, offering him a warm, inviting smile and a gentle wave. With a mixture of suspicion and intrigue, Ambush approached, bracing for mockery or fear. Instead, Altair greeted him in a melodious voice. I'm gonna just go for it. Bonjour, voyager d'étoiles. Ambush, unusual to kindness, grunted in confusion. Altair laughed softly, the sound like the tinkling of crystal, and repeated himself. Oh. Hello, traveler of the stars! Trouble if you're gonna have it audio only, just turn it off. Just turn off the audio. You do not want to hear this. Night after night, Altair visited Ambush, sharing stories of worlds he'd nurtured and invited Ambush to witness the birth of new galaxies. Slowly, the walls around Ambush's heart began to crumble. Altair's warmth was infectious, and soon Ambush found himself looking forward to their meetings. One evening, as they floated above the glowing rings of Saturn, Altair began to teach Ambush a new language. Répète après moi. Je t'aime, he said, his eyes sparkling. Ambush scowled, embarrassed, but tried anyway. Je t'aime? Altair giggled, drifting closer. Almost! Je t'aime! Ambush rolled his eyes but made another attempt. Je t'aime. Altair clapped, delighted, and rewarded Ambush with a gentle touch to his shoulder, a softness Ambush had never known. They spent countless nights like this, sharing laughter and lessons, drifting among the constellations. Ambush began to see the universe differently, not as an empty void, but as a canvas for creation and connection. In time, love blossomed between them, unexpected and profound. Beneath a waltz of comets and the hush of cosmic winds, Ambush asked Altair to be his for eternity. Their wedding was unlike any other. Stars themselves seemed to burn brighter, nebulae swirling in joyous colors as they exchanged vows. Altair whispered, Je t'aime pour toi je. And I have realized the music's been off this whole time. Please, I'm turning the music back on. And Ambush, with a rare, genuine smile, replied in halting but proud French, Je t'aime aussi. That's my transatlantic accent. For a while, life and hatred lived in harmony, each learning from the other. But as ages passed, something in Ambush began to change. The bloodlust that was always a part of him grew stronger, darker, hungrier. No matter how much love Altair gave, the hatred inside Ambush fought to consume him. It began to spill over, threatening to destroy worlds, to unravel the balance Altair cherished. Desperate to save Ambush, Altair made an impossible choice. He merged his own divine essence with Ambush, hoping that the force of life could quell the raging bloodlust. In that moment, two became one, light and shadow, hope and fury, locked together in an eternal struggle. Altair held Ambush close, whispering words of love in French as their souls intertwined. For a brief instant, the bloodlust calmed, and Ambush remembered the peace they once shared. But the battle inside had only just begun, and the universe would never be the same. Still, in the heart of the storm, echoes of their love lingered, soft, persistent, like a promise carried on solar winds. Aww. Wait, that's actually so sweet. Oh, the conversation of loss. Okay, is this... Do I have to read this in a French accent?
No, it looks like it's talking. Wait. No. Yeah, this is Altair.
This is Altair. Okay.
Oh.
Oh. No,
Yeah,
this is no, this is Ambush, I'm pretty sure.
No,
Wait,
because
no.
well, the second paragraph says, well, okay,
I will
it
try
says
Altair.
it's
Oh,
talking
okay.
to Ambush from Altair.
Okay.
And then, but like at the bottom,
No,
that's Ambush talking to Altair.
Because this the bloodlust clawing at the remnants of my soul. Oh wait, before I first force myself to merge with you, Ambush. Okay, this is French. Fuck. Okay.
You got this, Freya. I believe in you.
Thank you. You should not believe in me at all. It's getting stronger. The bloodlust every passing moment. Now I'm turning British. It grows more ferocious. clawing at the remnants of my soul. I can't I can only do the
You're doing
French,
great,
and I'm
Freya. You're doing.
Why?
I can feel the ambush stirring inside me. I'm being not just driven by rage, but forged from pure hatred itself. He is the demigod of that force, the embodiment of everything destructive and relentless. I don't know how much longer I can hold him back before someone gets seriously hurt. The struggle is relentless, and I feel myself slipping further away as his power eclipses mine. I miss how life was before I forced myself to merge with you, Ambush. I was out there then, the god of life, the bringer of hope and renewal. My existence was devoted to nurturing, to healing,
This
to
is something
bringing
more like
light into
German,
the
bro.
world. It's turning German. I'm sorry. When we joined, when we joined, I thought I could temper your hatred, perhaps even redeem you. When we got married, you were just a bloodlust monster. You were my love, my everything. I believed that love could bridge the chasm between us. That our union could be more than a desperate balance of creation and destruction.
Freya, you sound like Gru trying to do a
Gru is part of a doomed yaoi.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
All the seriousness is lost in the hilarious French accent. I'm sorry, I was asked to do this.
Ambush, we will still never.
Ambush, we will steal the moon together. Okay, this is meant to be sad. I'm sorry, I'm trying. But that life is gone now, smothered by the shadow you cast. I feel my essence fading, my purpose unraveling in the face of your insatiable need. Ambush, please. S'il vous plaît. Isn't that French?
Yes.
Thank you. I was like, what's please? And I was like, por favor.
That's Spanish.
Yeah. But
S'il vous
like,
plaît. Mi amor. Just don't hurt them too much, mi amor. Oh, I already said mi amor. Whatever
What's
is
wrong?
left of the one I loved, let that guide you. Remember what we shared. The fleeting moments when hatred was quiet and love was enough. If any spark of mercy remains, let it stay your hand, even as the bloodlust overwhelms you.
if any spark of thank you.
Okay. Is this does Ambush? This is not old Ambush anymore. So he doesn't have the "I will try, Altair" kind of thing.
He doesn't have the
Doesn't have any accent. Okay, we're good.
yeah.
But I assume that he talks like this. I will try. I will try, Altair. I will let your
Justice.
soul rest now.
For Gotham.
For God,
Justice for Justice for Solace.
for solace.
I am the knight. I am Batman.
For I know you cannot endure this torment.
Batman
much
is
longer.
French.
I will seek a new soul for the hosts, the young one. They are strong, resilient, and perhaps in their innocence they can withstand the darkness that even you could not tame. I will protect them, for even hatred knows the value of strength and loyalty. Goodbye, Montout, my trout. May, may you find peace in the silence to come. And may the world remember the god of life, not the shadow he became.
Why the good girls like bad guys? I'm so sorry.
I
So
feel bad for
I know you probably put like a lot of work into this. I was
It
so
was
sorry.
beautiful.
It was a beautiful
It was
piece.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It was beautiful. Rhea, from now on, if you ever do voice acting for me, can you do it in a French accent, please?
I have that tonight. You want me to do a French accent? I'll send you one
Please
of each.
don't.
I'll send you one of each. You asked. Okay.
And
Oh,
here
Bob,
we go.
Bob, Bob,
Bob.
Bob,
Comic canonically
Bob,
did the
Bob.
censorship, but they keep an uncensored copy at the library. Some violence. All right.
Violence.
The clown. Log
Ooh.
0, Planet Solace. Notes. I can't do this anymore. There's no information on how to get my blank back here on Solace. Oh! Wings back
Yes.
here on Solace. I have lied to my friends for too long. I must leave this place to seek answers on other planets. There must be some answer out there. I know Comet would try to convince me to let them come with me if I told them I was leaving, so instead I simply left a note in their office. I can't let Comet know what my true goal is. How would they react if they found out why I really created the library? They would have every right to be upset. I will miss Comet, but I hope that one day I will be able to explain everything and they will understand. But I need to get my wings first. I've heard rumors of a creature that was originally born a frog but turned into a bird. This could be a good starting point, as they were able to give themselves wings. I've been studying the Arcturus ship enough to understand the basics of space travel and was able to put together a small ship that should work well for me on my journeys. I hope to call this place home again one day, but for now, I must leave. Yes. Someone want to read this? I need to give my voice a rest after that.
Yeah, I got it. I can
thank
do it. Let me pull up the document we're at.
We are starting
log
log 1.
Log 1. Planet. SOT.
What?
Notes.
What? No, the thankful gifts. Lucky's thing. What?
Oh, are we doing... There's more of
There's more
Bob.
logs?
Yeah.
There's only one tab. Oh! Oh my god, there's different... Oh!
Yeah, there's 13 logs.
Oh, geez. Yeah, let's take turns, please. Okay, sorry. I had moved on.
I've already read this, so I can...
I've also already read this.
I'm
It's
not
really good. I really like it.
I really like the same.
Log 1. Planet. SOT. Notes. The planet is rather empty, with no life forms. The planet itself is lush, with dense forests and rivers passing through it. There seems to be a small civilization built near bodies of water, and a few abandoned sites that seem to be meant for explorers. A few of these show remnants of someone disappearing inside of them, likely caused by the Great Anomaly. It seems that they are the predominant species here. The predominant species here were known as froggers. Out of all their texts, I can only find 3 on what I suspect the rumored creature to be, a cryptid. It's odd. It seems that all these creatures are cryptids, simply living in frog suits. Despite the entire species being cryptids in frog clothing, they have almost nothing describing what a cryptid is. What I have learned is that a cryptid chooses what they will look like. Thus this supposed creature must have seen a bird or other winged creature and selected to be it. Thus, a visitor from another planet must have visited to put the image of a bird in this creature's mind. I will go to the nearby planets with winged species and see if they could have traveled here in the past, and if they have information on regrowing wings. Log 2. Planet. Zephyria, or Zephyra. Notes. The planet has small groups of Zephyrians still inhabiting their cities, but still clearly in mourning from the Great Anomaly. The planet has extreme mountain ranges that make it difficult to traverse on foot, likely why the Zephyrians evolved to have wings. The people of this planet were very kind, maybe scared of me for being a new species. This could indicate that they have never left this planet. They have led me to their libraries and given me their best translator. It is clear that this planet is too primitive to have access to space travel. They could not have been the creatures that visited SOT. I have found 2 more planets nearby that have winged creatures, so this is not a dead end yet. Log 3. Planet. Telenus. Notes. I wouldn't have known this planet had ever gone through the Great Anomaly if it weren't for the mass graves. The cities seem to be lively with action at all times. Fights are taking place almost all over the planet. These people are barbaric, and they consider strength the only way to exhibit power. They consider knowledge and intelligence unnecessary, and only someone weak would attempt to be smarter. After hours of attempts at reasoning, I learned very little about this planet. I've learned that these people, they are called Griffin. They didn't originally have wings, and that they were gifted wings by a blue floating lady who visited thousands of years ago. This isn't the planet that visited OST or SOT, but this has brought me to a new lead. I will search the universe for this blue floating lady, and if she is still alive, she may be able to return my wings. Log 4, planet Hybrion. Notes. The first planet I have visited with a decently modern society. The planet itself comprises of multiple different species living somewhat separately from each other. I have arrived at the largest city known as Virilia. It appears that they have an in-depth catalog of all the information that has to do with this planet. This may take a while to go through. It appears this planet has no magic whatsoever and relies entirely on science. I have found the species that have most likely visited SOT. They are known as harpies, a human-bird hybrid. This species has enough features of birds that this is likely what the cryptid got the image of one. It seems that a few years back, these harpies have created a spaceship, which was the first major development for their species in a long time. It appears the more developed species, known as the chimeras, believe that the harpies have stolen the rocket schematics that they had created decades ago and decided to wage war on them. Why would they do this? Knowledge shouldn't be kept a secret. It should be used to collectively improve society. This is extremely odd, but at least it explains how a winged creature ended up on SOT. Their databases also show that the chimeras have explored much further into the universe and have had a documented record of the planets they visited. This creates a list of planets for me to search off of. Maybe someone has heard of the blue floating lady on one of these. Log 5. Planet Virith. Notes. This planet is mostly aquatic, with only around 5% of the surface not being submerged. There seems to be more devastation here than on other planets. Maybe they just got unlucky during the Great Anomaly. No, they lost so much more. There's only 1% of the population left here. How could this happen? It appears that the inhabitants are called Lysari, slightly humanoid creatures that are mostly translucent, but they have evolved to be codependent on their partner from birth. The only ones who survived were the couples of Lysari, where both partners survived. Their people have extensive research on underwater technologies that could be applied to other planets, but nothing on wings. Makes sense for a planet of nearly all water.
I can read this next one if you'd like. Give yourself a break.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Log 6. Planet Corel Prime. Notes. The planet is devoid of all water and plant life. The planet consists mostly of dark cities that run on the heat from the core of the planet. The people here call themselves the Forged. All of them are at least 80% robotic, with some inhabitants being entirely machine-based. The Great Anomaly hit them much less here because of the people don't have life anymore. They consider having flesh a weakness here. So the animosity towards me when I first landed is understandable. They seem to have had some experience with an otherworldly being that could be the floating blue lady, but all the information about her is locked away. When I requested to see it and offered to pay for the information, the Forged I was talking to said no, and that someone as weak as me didn't deserve the information. I wasn't going to let this stop me from getting what I wanted, so I pushed him. I must not have realized my strength, though, as he flew across the room. I always thought I was weak. I couldn't do anything back then, so it doesn't matter now. He survived and quickly got me the information I requested. The information he gave me described why this planet was now barren. Apparently centuries ago, a woman with blue skin who called herself a god showed up, and after the people here had disrespected her, she burned the planet's surface, so the only things that survived were the machines. This is why they consider anything non-machine weak. I was surprised at how effective my pushing was. It seemed that physical pain can force others to give me what I want. This can be used in the future. I'll read this one too.
Evil arc.
Next planet.
I can read this
Why are
one
you
too.
laughing?
Log 7, planet
Decavra?
Decavra.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went to Decavra?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can we have context?
Decavra is Glacier's planet. Ladice's planet,
Oh,
rather.
nice.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Which was destroyed in the after the Great Anomaly.
Oh shit.
Notes how. What could cause such destruction? The list said that Decavra should be right here, but all that's left is a pile of rocks surrounding some kind of creature. As I get closer, there seems to be smaller creatures surrounding the rocks. They don't appear to communicate, so we'll have to explore on my own. Despite the destruction, remnants of what used to be libraries remain on certain larger chunks of rock. No, this can't be. How dare they? Centuries of knowledge and work destroyed over something as trivial as war? These people were in a kind of harmony. How could they throw it all away? They deserved this. They might have seen the one I am looking for, but I will never know. I could have been closer to getting my wings back right now if it wasn't for them. If these people were here.
Does Bob know Ladice exists?
I don't.
Yeah. Yes. I mean,
I know.
obviously Glacier and Bob. Know each other and they're- but
Does someone else want to read 8 and 9, 10? I want to hop back in at least for 11. I want to, or 12.
Yeah,
I want to read 12.
you wanna read? So I can read until that.
Here, Mika, weren't you reading the ones before though? Shouldn't?
I
Who's
can
been
read.
reading?
I'll read.
That
I'll
was
read.
me.
I've got it. Log
Oh,
8,
well,
planet
what a pain.
Thalanor. Notes: the planet is very similar to Solace, lush and brimming with life. There seem to be no signs of graves or any indication of death. Surprisingly, considering that the Great Anomaly was not too long ago, they may have have a different method of dealing with their dead. The inhabitants are known as Thalans, and they seem to all be highly intelligent. I explain to them my purpose and mission. As they realize I am not hostile, they reveal their secret, or should I say, its secret. The reason this whole planet is made up of highly intelligent beings is that there is only one highly intelligent being here, the planet itself. The planet is an organism itself and controls the inhabitants. When visitors arrive to communicate and create a charade of being a normal planet. The planet seems to have just gotten lucky to be in the 10% after the Great Anomaly. This is so cool! I always wanted someone to make a planet that was alive.
It's like
lived-
Ego from
This is
Guardians of the
fucking
Galaxy.
awesome.
The planet.
Oh wait, I'm gonna tell you this later. I just had an idea, but I'm gonna tell you later.
Okay. The planet had no written record of its knowledge, as all of it was stored in its hive mind. It was, however, able to tell me any information it had. It didn't seem to have any information on the lady I was looking for, but I can't be sure it wasn't lying. To aid me on my journey, it gave me information on specific defense mechanisms it uses to protect itself from hostile beings. This may be useful once I am done with my mission. Log 9, Kareth. The planet is of the modern era. It has a stable infrastructure, and it almost seems similar to what many planets used to be. The thing that makes this planet stand out, however, is its currency. The people here are called Nemos, and they trade in memories. The more powerful an emotion in a memory, the more it is worth. I decide to view the worth of my memories in case I have to trade for information. The Nemo I see about evaluating my memories says I have a few of great worth. One has a high level of anguish, one has high levels of happiness, and the last one has deep sorrow. The happiness one is of my time when I first created the library. The sorrow one is when I left Solace, left my friends. The anguish is unimportant. The Nemo said I'd likely be able to buy anything I wanted with these memories. How could they sell their memories, though, losing the knowledge and feelings from their past? It feels like you're losing yourself. I didn't learn much from this planet about my mission, as I wasn't willing to sell my memories, but I did learn how to create the devices they use to transfer memories. Very interesting tech, really.
I like the concept of that, like selling memories between
Yeah.
people.
All of these are
Like,
so
having them
cool.
as your own.
all these planets are so cool. I was literally blown away when Bob sent it to me.
Yeah.
The moral hangups on like what it means to be a person if like everyone has like almost like I don't want to call it like a shared collective, but I don't know. There's just something about transferring memories that's really interesting.
Bob's
Yeah, there
world
is-
building is amazing.
Oh man. So many
Hi,
good
Bob.
ideas. So many
Bob's
good
in
ideas.
chat.
Bob, hi
Bob.
Bob.
Hi, Bob.
All right.
Bob.
Log
Bob, you're
10.
writing. It's amazing.
Planet Elandra. Or Eliandra, maybe. The planet doesn't rotate. One side is eternally facing the sun, while the other is stuck in eternal darkness. The people here have adapted and have formed two entirely different cultures on either side. The sun's side has a society built on honor and respect. Every action can be seen in the light, so everything should be honorable in their eyes. The other side is anarchy, every man for himself. I decided to do my research on the sunny side, as the people were more respectful. They aided me in my quest and even suggested having their people build me a pair of mechanical wings. I respectfully declined. I don't want fake wings. I want my wings. I want my board. Sorry. After doing some research, no one's gonna get that, maybe. After doing some research on the library, I found that the planet was not always like this. It used to rotate, but another being whose description very closely resembles that of the lady stopped its rotations a few decades ago. I'm getting closer. Her actions here were less than a century back. She must be close. Log Harmonia! I see Harmonia down there.
Yep.
Log 11.
Oopsies.
Planet Zethera. Do this.
Log 11 is so good. It's so interesting. All of these are so good.
The planet is a perfect sphere. There is always a faint sound in my ears, a whisper almost, of a conversation. The people here are called Wispari. They do not communicate vocally and only write information down. The sounds on this planet will travel for decades, going around the world multiple times. This must be the sounds I'm always hearing. I find a text locked away, and it mentions the lady, but it doesn't mention how long ago she visited or any other information. I wrote down my request to the elders asking for this information. They denied. How dare they? I followed their customs, respected their beliefs, and what do they repay me with? Holding me back on my journey? I grab the High Elder and throw him to the ground. He will give me the information. I hit him over and over, his screams echoing around the world. Finally, the other elders gave me the information I requested. The lady was here only 52 years ago. She is also the reason for the conversations currently circling the planet. She is close. I pity these people. They will have to live with those horrid screams for the next few decades. Jesus, Bob!
Yeah!
What
Good
the
God.
hell?
It's so violent.
It's so... wow. This is so good.
Let's
I love
crash out.
this.
I can read log.
Yeah,
I can
I'm
read
sure
log
you
12.
do. I'm sure you want to.
Let's play the average librarians on Polis GIF.
All right. Log 12. Planet Harmonia. Notes. The planet's surface consists of only one landmass surrounded by ocean. It is almost entirely devoid of life, but my scans are showing much more than I'm seeing. They must be underground. Before I explore underground, I will see what I can find on the surface. I found that most towns and civilizations were almost entirely decimated. This is strange. It couldn't have been caused by the Great Anomaly. That only made living organisms disappear. This had to have been before. It must have been war. What is the point of such a thing? In one of the ruins, I find some feathers. There must have been a winged species here before. As I search the rubble more, I find only the pieces of some texts. I will attempt to put together the information I can find. No, this can't be. They were working on a way to grow back wings. They were so close. Why? Why must they be destroyed? What power did these bloodhorns gain from wiping the species from existence? These barbarians hindered the progress of society for something as pointless as power. This violence is meaningless. I am glad this vile, senseless filth was removed during the Great Anomaly.
Oh, the intermingling of lore, what do people say, the collaboration, crossover we didn't know we needed, whatever.
The FCU, SCU.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't use my planet lore to Bob, because I would have feared what he said.
Thank God my planet is destroyed. I will just say that.
Dude, I was
God, my planet is
so
in
excited with Bob. Shortly after Bob got back, that's when they messaged me and were like, hey, can I include your planet in some lore? I'm like, yeah. They're like, cool, can I get a description of it? I'm like, yep, it's like Pangea, and it's covered in war.
Hell yeah.
It was so fun.
All right. Shall I continue?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Log 13, Aurelian. The planet has extreme beauty. Everything shines with such brightness. The entire planet is under one kingdom, the Solan Dominion. It is a monarchy with King Salus IV at the top. He's a young king who has only been in power for a few years. They've not gotten many visitors from other planets, but I'm not their first. They treat me with a level of respect, knowing I have knowledge they do not. The king himself even brought me into the palace as an honored guest. He gave me access to all the archives and said I could ask him for anything. I'm very grateful for his hospitality. As I search through the archives, I see that there seems to be a gap here, around only 2 years before the Great Anomaly. The kingdom was much smaller. Suddenly, the size of the kingdom grew overnight. This doesn't make sense. How could this happen? I requested a private meeting with the king and the young prince. He brings me into his private chambers with the guards posted outside. Before going in, I used a gas that I learned of on Thalanor that paralyzed both the guards for an hour. Okay. I first asked the king about the discrepancy in the records. He begins to get defensive, saying all the opposing kingdoms decided to join him. This was not believable. He came up with dumb excuse after dumb excuse. I had enough, so I hit him. He screamed for his guard, but they were still paralyzed. His son began to scream. I continued hitting him, but he was unwilling to give the information. How cumbersome. Physical pain clearly wouldn't get me what I wanted. If physical pain wouldn't work, maybe emotional pain would. I grab his son and hold a knife to his throat. The king begs for mercy. I tell him that every breath his son takes is me giving him mercy. I scream for him to tell me what I want to know. God damn, Bob! Okay. Finally, he gives in. He tells me that many years ago, a blue woman showed up in the kingdom with extraordinary powers. She could shape reality as she saw fit. Eventually, the king fell in love with this woman, and they had a son together, the very one I was holding a knife to. She forced all the kingdoms to unify under them, and the world lived in peace for a while. Then 2 years later, she, along with the majority of the population, disappeared all night. No, this can't be it. She can't be gone. I need her. I released his son. The king grabs his son tightly. I look down at the knife in my hand. What have I done? In pursuit of what I lost myself in the process. I just wanted to go home. Would Comet even let me back in the library if they found out what I have done? Knowing I'd be captured in the next few seconds, I sent out a distress beacon. Only one that Comet would understand. The character development, the world building,
It was beautiful.
Peak. Absolute peak.
So unfathomably.
I will say I'm excited if Mira ever meets Bob. I'm really fucking excited if
I
Mira
want
ever
so
meets
many
Bob.
people to meet Bob. Comments just gonna
I'd
go
love to
around
meet
being
Bob.
like, "Hey guys, this is my friend.
Bob!
This is Bob."
Bring him around Ogle's hospital. I bet it'd go well.
Dante needs a friend. He barely has any friends. Bob, I have an idea. Do you want to be with someone who destroyed a planet? Do you want to be buddies with
We
someone who
need a
destroyed
Bob
a
meet
planet?
and greet.
Bob meet and greet is so funny.
So-
Bob, have you
Yes.
heard of OC Social Network?
Bob's already on there.
Please,
Oh.
please.
Actually, yeah, that's
Bob's already
true.
on there.
Time to
Bob
get
is.
writing.
Having like a non-canon interaction where like fucking Bob figures out that Ogle was like the general of the Bloodhorns. That would be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
Because I don't think he
I
likes
need
the Bloodhorns very much.
I need a canon
Oh.
interaction.
Lucky.
Can I
Your
get Bob's
document, I
signature?
can edit it. He's Lucky, I can edit your document. No, you should not.
Yeah,
do that.
everyone can edit it for whatever reason. Okay. This is Thankful Gifts. Lucky. Today was the day Lucky had been planning for a couple weeks now. Back on her own planet around this time, she would bring gifts to loved ones and people who she was thankful for, no matter how small it was. To keep this ongoing tradition, she carefully picked out someone to give a gift to and spent hours in the night carefully placing each detail and stitch. As Lucky made her way to the familiar tavern, her nerves were higher than she had ever felt. Why was she so nervous? She'd done this for people dozens of times, and this was the same as any other. Maybe it was the odd relationship they had, or maybe she wasn't sure if he'd hate it completely because of who it was from. Nonetheless, she carried on to the tavern basement door, hesitating a moment before knocking. As the door swung open, a tired-looking Rotwood leaned against the frame. "Pfft, what do you want, goat lassie? I was taking a nap." He clearly seemed unhappy. With a quick breath, Lucky began her rant of an explanation. "Okay, I know we aren't exactly friends, but back where I'm from, we have this tradition where we bring things to people we are thankful for. I know it's odd, but I'm probably not the person you'd think of, but..." Lucky offers the hat to him, carefully stitched and patterned to match Rotwood's usual outfit. Rotwood stands there a bit taken aback by the situation, but he takes the hat nonetheless, examining it as if it might be a prank. "This is for me?" Lucky nodded, a nervous yet kind smile on her face, probably the first and only he will see from her in a long time, directed to him. "Yes, it's a thank you for the little things, like having that nice talk when my dog was being annoying." Rotwood still seemed surprised as the two stood there in awkward silence for what seemed like forever. "Thank you," he said quietly, with an appreciative nod. "No, thank you. I guess have a good day then." Lucky turned to head back before sternly glancing back at him. "I would like it if you didn't ruin that hat, though, please." With that, Lucky made her way back out the tavern, leaving Rotwood standing there, hat in hand. Aww.
Aw.
Sweet.
Friendship is magic, bro. You know what?
Friendship is magic. Oh, here we go. The mission. Act
Yes.
Bro,
1.
I still need to lock in, but I can't type right now.
Comet was deep in the zone, and little could bring them out of it now. Papers were scattered across the cluttered desk, books stacked haphazardly, a lone empty mug was left abandoned to the side. There was soft music coming from the jukebox, providing a soundtrack to the organized chaos. The library had just gotten some new information from newer residents of Solace, and Comet had taken it upon themselves to organize and file the new books. All in all, it was a fairly regular sight. That was until something disrupted it. Comet, still in the zone, was jolted by the sudden beeping coming from a mechanical box across the room. That was rare. Really rare. They quickly grabbed a pen and their notebook as they rushed over, knocking over a stack of books in the process. They turned down the music and hit a button on the box and began transcribing the transmission. The box, a radio device, was left behind by Bob when he went off the planet to pursue his own career. The librarians themselves didn't have the technology to build a powerful antenna, so they relied on the Arcturus' resources. Did Marcelo know about this? No, and frankly, Comet preferred to keep it that way. That wasn't important. What was the fact that Comet was getting a message. It was encoded, of course, but only Comet had the key. They hurried back over to their desk, pushing aside all the stray papers as they set to work decoding it by hand. Only one other person in this universe knew this code, someone Comet knew very well. They could barely contain their excitement as their pen flew across the page, only soon to be replaced by a pit in their stomach as they realized the contents. It was from Bob. It was a distress signal accompanied by coordinates. Shit. Recruitment. Comet pushed everything off their desk and grabbed every book they had on the quadrant that the signal was coming from. They soon discovered that the message originated from a somewhat nearby planet called Aurelian, and as far as they were aware, nobody on Solace was from the planet, at least not from their records. They grabbed their cloak, which was slung over a chair, and locked up the library early. There was really one place that they were on somewhat good terms with that they would have what they were looking for, the Arcturus. Comet was in no means a pilot. They didn't have a ship first and foremost, but most importantly, they were blind, so they would need to find someone who did have a ship who could see. Comet was powerful and strong, but it would be wise to have someone who could back them up. Even better, a group of people. But Comet was not a social person, and they mostly kept to themselves, so they didn't have many such connections or favors to call. This meant that they would need to find people who were willing to donate a ship and expertise, essentially pro bono. That was, of course, unless they decided to loot Aurelian, but they didn't want to make a promise that they couldn't keep. If they could find Obsivi, she would definitely be willing to help, but that left the most important matter, the ship, up for debate. Their mind whirled with thoughts and plans until they finally made it to the Arcturus lands. Now they needed to find a pilot. They knew Mira could fly a shuttle, but whether or not she was up for a mission after what happened last time... Can I help you? Comet turned quickly, thoughts interrupted. Oh, you're Dante, right? Yes.
Dante! Sorry.
Yes, are you looking for Mira? The man asked. Comet paused. Yes, well, no, sort of. You seem quite frantic, Dante said inquisitively. Comet took a deep breath. I know we don't know each other all that well, but are you able to fly a ship? I have a friend who sent out a distress signal not too far from Solace, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who was able to save him. I was originally going to ask Mira since she's the only pilot I'm close with, but I don't want to stress her out, especially after what happened last time. And I'm sure you don't want to either. You're right. I don't have much to pay you, and hell, you can stay back on the ship if you want, but I just need someone to get me there. I'll handle the rest. Why don't you fly there yourself? Dante crossed his arms. Was it really not common knowledge at this point? Comet thought to himself. I'm blind. I can see well enough on the ground, but in the empty expanse of space, I am completely lost. Dante raised an eyebrow. How exactly does that work? Comet closed their eyes and took a deep breath. I do not have time to give you a biology lesson. Just please, can you fly the ship? I'll even help out with your wedding in any way if possible. Sure, he responded, uncrossing his arms. But you owe me. Thank you so much. You have no idea, Comet said, exhaling with relief. When do you need to fly out? Tomorrow, at dawn if possible. You know, it's a bad idea to do a rescue mission with only 2 people. You're going to need more of a crew. Comet didn't want to admit it, but Dante was right. But who? You're right. I have 2 others in mind, but I need to find them first. I might have someone who would be crazy enough to do this. You find your people and I'll find mine. We'll need supplies. I'll stop by Lilac and Black Glass. The BGO owes me a favor. What about weapons? Do you know what kind of defenses the planet has? According to my records, it's a low-technology monarchy. We could possibly overwhelm them with guns easily, and we should expect them to excel in close-quarter combat. When I stop by again at the library, I'll gather all the information we have on it. I'll take care of the food as well. Sounds like a plan. Meet back here at dawn? Yes. Comet said, relieved. Abzivi? Comet called out, looking around. They decided to start off easy by going to the Black Glass office. They only could hope and pray that the person they were looking for was there for once. They could really use someone who was familiar with them and the battlefield. Abzivi! They called it again, starting to get desperate. Things seemed quiet for a minute before they heard a loud crashing noise and a string of expletives from the basement. Thank Rua. They hurried down the basement to see a familiar figure standing next to an open chest with an assortment of weapons surrounding them. Abzivi, the chained one sighed. I heard you for the first time. Then why didn't you respond? Okay, remember that favor you owed me? From back in the 4th era? When you so graciously let me live in your giant castle? Abzivi rolled their eyes. Yes, look, I have a mission I need your help on. I received a distress signal from a planet not too far away, and they need my help. Are you in or not? Abzivi began to clean up the weapons and put them back in the chest. Depends. Who needs to be rescued? Comet let out a soft smile. Bob. Abzivi's head snapped around to look at them. Bob? Are you serious? You got in contact with him? Well, he reached out to me. How are you sure it's not someone who's luring you into a trap? The signal was encoded. The only people who have that key are me and him. Abzivi closed the chest before turning around to face Comet. How long will it be? The estimate is a few days. I already have a pilot secured and potentially 2 other people besides you to provide support. We plan on leaving tomorrow. Gloves on or off? That just depends on what they did to Bob, but I know we'll more than likely have to fight our way to him. Besides, when's the last time we fought together on the battlefield? Abzivi paused, seemingly in thought. Deal. Comet let out a grin. Be at the Arcturus grounds by dawn. Bring whatever supplies you think will help. You know I'm doing this for Bob, not for you, Abzivi said wryly. And not me? Your mother? You wound me, Comet called back, heading up the stairs. Cam was not doing well. He had
Understatement of the century.
Yeah. He had
I'm picturing Cam, like, you know, the hunched over a bar table, like a beard full grown, eye bags, looking
he just
like
looks like Marcelo. That's all it is.
Oh yeah.
He'd rarely left his room. Cam on his worst day looks like Marcel on his best day. He had rarely left his room for anything ever since the news. Comet considered him a friend. After all, he was the first person they called after Eclipse attacked them. They knew that they needed to take extra caution and perhaps some unconventional bargaining tools. Comet made their way to his workshop in Lilac and knocked softly at the door. Cam? It's Comet. Can I come in? No response. Comet knocked louder as they grew more worried. Cam, it's Comet. I need to make sure you're doing all right. There was a rustling and a grumble before the door slowly opened, revealing a disheveled man. His hair was a mess. He was several days without a shave, and bags lined his eyes. He must have been asleep. I'm currently on vacation from my duties as leader of Lilac. I'm sorry, but I don't have any books for you. That's not what I'm here for. Can I come in? Cam's eyes narrowed as he heaved a sigh and let the other pass. The room was a mess. It was covered in all sorts of mechanical parts, and tools were strewn all about. Comet took a breath as they began the little speech they thought up in their head as they walked here. I heard what happened. I'm so sorry. Cam's eyes just stared past them, almost numb to everything. I have a few things for you, but I have something that could help distract you first. What is it? A mission. There's someone who's close to me that I want you to meet, but the issue is that he's currently being held captive on a planet not too far from Solace. I'm putting together a small rescue team, and I would like you to be a part of it. Who are you rescuing? His name is Bob. He was the founder of the Librarians before I took over as the head archivist. He was passionate about archiving history, but he was also passionate about the exploration of Solace. Chances are, he knows too much information, and that's why he was kidnapped. Cam began to stir. He's a great man, and I know he would love to meet someone who is as passionate as he is about mapping Solace. I could really use your support in whatever you're making with all these parts. Comet gestured at the general mess. How long would it take? A few days. The launch window is tomorrow at dawn, and you need to get out. Get your blood flowing. It will be good for you. Cam paused. Sunny's at Nixon's for the next week. Comet smiled softly. Are you in? Fine. Dawn. It was dawn, and Comet had finally just finished bringing all of their equipment and supplies to Arcturus's lands. Weapons, armor, medical supplies, and a week's worth of food for everyone, all from their hidden stash at the library. They had to be prepared for any contingency, and Comet was ready. Comet, Dante called out. This is Feather, the other person I was going to bring. Feather, this is Comet. Comet paused. They knew who Feather was. They stood up straight. Will you be able to work under me, despite everything? Comet's voice took an authoritative tone. Yes, boss, Feather responded immediately. Good. I hear you're good with guns? Yes, I have a lot of experience. Fought in a war and was a bounty hunter for a while. Good. I'll trust you to provide supporting fire. Wait, what do you mean despite everything? Dante asked. Do you have a history with each other? Comet sighed as Feather pursed her lips. Feather here is the mother of Violence, the one who stalked me and sent Eclipse after me, they explained. Dante's eyes widened. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's fine, the two others said in unison. Comet turned to her. Look, I won't form my opinions on you based on your son's actions, but what I will form my opinion on is if you're able to keep up and have my back. We have to put aside everything on the battlefield. I don't care about whose side you're on, it's not important. I agree, Feather responded after a beat of silence. I'm not here to apologize for his actions. Good, because I wasn't expecting it anyway. Comet turned back to the pilot. Dante, is the ship ready to be loaded? Yes, the launch window isn't too far away, so let's hope everyone will be here on time. He gestured over his shoulder to the ship. Looks like Obsivi beat you already. They're already loading crates. We should go help them then, Feather said before picking up a box of medical supplies and going to join the other. I'm surprised you were able to pull it off in such a short period of time, Dante commented. This would take others at least a week or more. Had a few favors. I've fought side by side with Obsivi several times before. There's no one else I'd rather have my back than them. You go back? We met before the Great Anomaly, and then both independently made it to Solace. It wasn't till around the Second Era that we were able to properly get together and talk again. I was so relieved to see her. What about Cam? We only really met in this era. He's a great leader and has been a wonderful ally to the librarians. He was actually the one I called after my skirmish with Eclipse. He's smart, and I consider him a friend. Comet responded, picking up a few boxes. Let's go. Don't want to miss the launch window. I hope he comes soon, Dante followed suit. He will. Give him a few minutes. Comet was right. It wasn't that long until Cam came flying in on some sort of whatever technology he was tinkering with. Hope I'm not too late. He was clean-shaven and more kempt now, a stark contrast of his appearance the day before. Right on time, Comet smiled. Glad to have you. Grab those remaining boxes over there and load them up, and then I'll brief everyone. Did you get the rest loaded? Yes, those should be the last ones. Comet marched back onto the ship and placed their box down next to the others. When they turned, they saw Cam flying straight towards them, only slowing down at the last second to make a landing. Where should I put this? Wow, that was fast. Thought you were going to hit me, Comet laughed awkwardly. Put him over there. I'll call the others. They took a deep breath before shouting down the hallway. Everyone come to the cargo hold for the briefing. The briefing. Comet took a deep breath. All right, listen up. Thank you for helping on such short notice. I'm Comet, and I will be the leader for this mission. My second in command will be Obsivi. I trust her with my life, and I hope you can trust her too. Dante will be the pilot. Our mission will be Aurelian, a planet not too far from Solace. Bob, a very close friend of mine and the founder of the Librarians, has been kidnapped by the king of the planet. Our objective will be to extract him safely. Now, Aurelian is a monarchy that relies on low technology and magic. It is safe to assume that they might not have guns and will excel in close quarters combat. And truth be told, I am not good with firearms. That is why I will rely on Feather and Cam to hold the line with guns. Dante, you're our way in and out, so I won't fault you if you want to stay behind and protect the ship. Chances are that we will have guards hot on our tails as we are leaving, so we need to be ready to lift off at any time. So we're going in guns blazing? Feather asked. Not exactly, Comet responded. I believe it is the right thing to give them a chance to give in to our demands before they get hurt. If they don't, or even worse, kill Bob, then yes. Do you have a map? Cam interjected. Comet pulled out a folded piece of paper. Yes, it's a little rudimentary, but it's based off of floor plans of the castle from a few years before the Great Anomaly. Chances are it hasn't changed much since. Oh, look at that! We have an actual drawing of the map.
Yeah.
Fancy. The red line is the route we will be taking. We might be able to land in the courtyard, but if not, there's a garden not too far away. The castle is on top of a hill, which is the focal point of the city, so we have very limited options on where to land. Can you do that, Dante? I should be able to, hopefully. I need certainties. Mira trusts you with her life, so I will trust in your skills as a pilot. What about formation? Obsivi interjected. Yes, I will be in the front, with Obsivi not too far behind. We both are skilled in close quarters combat, so that's what we'll be doing. Cam and Feather, you will be flanking us, giving us support and steady push with guns. What's most important is that we do not split up. There will be a lot more of them than there are of us. We need to stay together, and we need to stay tightly knit. For all intents and purposes, we need to be one body, fighting as one. Like Voltron, Cam snorted. Comet paused. What? Oh, nothing, sorry. He turned away. An old franchise from back on Earth. Never mind that. But above all else, I need each one of you to promise to not get in my way, because I will not be stopping. Do not falter and follow my lead. Is that understood? Yes, Captain? Feather paused. Actually, do you have a title? I used to be a general not long ago. Not sure the title is still good. Giving Okul a run for
General
her...
long ago.
What?
Long ago. You said not long ago.
Oh, sorry.
It was indeed long ago.
Sorry, I'm reading so fast. I used to be a general long ago. Not sure the title is still good. Giving Okul a run for her money, Cam said sarcastically. Please, I was a general long before her planet even had concepts of an army, and I'm much more successful than that fraud. There was a small beeping from the console of the ship. We're just entering the launch window for Aurelian. We need to get going, Dante announced. Alright, everyone prepare for takeoff. I can't wait. I love these big mission things with groups of people. It's so much fun.
Oh, you are in for a treat when you get to Act 2, because holy shit. Holy
Absolutely
shit.
goated Voltron reference, though.
Oh god, don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Oh, we have so
I
much
love
more to read.
Voltron.
Fred,
I
Will
do not. I
you
don't think I'm gonna be
listen?
here for all of this. I might be leaving soon. Just letting you
That's
guys, giving you
fine.
guys a heads up.
I may not be able to read all of it. We might have a Lord Wednesday as well. We'll see.
Yeah,
So-
you might need to do it Lord Wednesday, because I have Act 2 of the mission is long, and I know there's a bunch
Is
of
it
other
in?
stuff.
Is Act 2 in here?
No, Act 2 is a separate document.
Oh my god, yeah, okay. I'm gonna read the Magos lore thing and then stuff from today. Jesus, this is all today? That's gonna be another, like, hour and a half at least. I will read that maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I can also do it Friday, but I think I'll have to do it tomorrow. If I wasn't sick, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stay up, but I am sick. Okay. Magos lore. The spider. Not the scarab. Entry booting up. Entry 27, old mentor.
Actually, you might have
Wait, you skipped
you skipped because okay, first of all, I sent the document 2 times. You're supposed to read the signal and recruitment.
Oh
and then
my
Dawn's
god, you're
briefing.
right.
So but I didn't interrupt you because you were on a roll.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You sent it 2 times? What?
Okay, so one of them is a response to the Bob Demon one, and then under that is a Nyx, a Truffle, a Slipper, a Violence, and a Lux document, and then it's the second 2 tabs of comments.
Okay. So
there's a lot more than you thought.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways, I do have to go.
Okay.
I comment.
Bye, comment.
Enjoy.
Okay. I will still read
So
it.
what's next?
We'll still go until today. Next
Okay.
up is this here. Nyx, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and head out
Yeah,
now.
that's
You guys have a
fine.
great day.
Have a good night.
Hey, bye, Glitch.
This log is being taken during my test on just a rat to a artificial rat body, so I'll now start the machine. The hope of this test is that the rat will properly have its soul transferred to the artificial body. I'll tell this by the artificial body starting to move. But now it's time to start the machine. Okay. I just have to hope this works. It should though. And there. Now I just need to open the machine really quickly. There. Any second now. Oh, as long as the machine worked. The process. As long as the process works, that rat should start moving. Yes! It worked! That confirms that at the very least I can transfer a creature's soul. But I suppose I should name this rat something since I need to watch over it to check the safety. I'll name this rat Salus, the word for salvation in Latin. as this success gives me hope for salvation from my plagued existence. Anima signing off from the test of non-human soul transfer.
It's not ominous at all.
Yep.
All right. From Truffle. Misunderstanding. I desperately needed something to get my mind off of Zenithra. They weren't talking to me. It would always seem as if they were still asleep around me. I knew better. I just wanted to know what had happened to them and how I could help. That was what I was supposed to do. Instead, I had gone back to my house to meet this chaos person. It was empty when I got there, a little dusty as well. The air felt oddly stale, and there was this sense of dread in the air. Those teacups from yesterday were still on the coffee table. The one that was likely mine was still full, while the other's only had a small puddle left in the bottom. Hello? Is anyone here anymore? Suddenly, wisps of shimmering dark red came from the shadows of the room, coalescing onto the couch in a vague humanoid shape before solidifying. The man had near white skin that shimmered in the small bit of sunlight that came from the trapdoor. His hair was ever so slightly darker with a red gradient. It was styled almost like Freya's, aside from the bangs being long enough to cover his eyes. He wore a simple tailor suit, dress pants, and fancy shoes, and yet more shades of gray. You are Truffle Balatro, correct? Yes, I am. Get straight to the point. What do you want with me? More importantly, why are you in my house? He just laughed. Calm down, calm down. I did not mean to scare you. I'm just quite unfamiliar with human socialization. This place is safe from any malicious forces, trust me. Unfamiliar with human socialization? You broke into my house. Just what even are you? I am a species that you would be unfamiliar with. We are called Kors. Perhaps the only other Kor you would be familiar with is that neglectful goddess. Huh? I froze, trying to think of who that title could go to. The only obvious one in my mind was Freya. Yes, finally someone who might agree with me that wasn't a public enemy. I am glowing right now. Freya has no idea about this. I have no idea about this. No, I shouldn't get ahead of myself yet. I see. Are you too an enemy of hers? Why, yes, I am. Good. It is good to have allies against someone like her. My legs were going a bit weak from the situation. I was sitting in front of a man who was likely a god, and now he had allied with me to defeat Freya. Just finish the doc and go to the next tab. Okay. Well, I would love to stay, but I do have things I would like to do today. My house... It would be really funny if Truffle completely misunderstands. But, like, what other neglectful goddess is there? Well, I would love to stay, but I do have things I would like to do today. My house will always be open to you. He nodded. I understand. I left and decided to actually be productive today. The first thing I did was return my pillow, blanket, and butcher's knife to my house, seeing as I wouldn't need to be camping out on a bench anymore. The second thing I did was check my mailbox. It was interesting. The first item I picked out of there was an odd potion bottle with a dark navy goop in it. A small piece of brown paper attached to the bottle had a crude smiley face drawn on it. I tried to get a better look at it, but dropped it. 3 images suddenly flashed through my mind. A cabin, the court, and the dungeon where violence was being held. It was strange, but I got back to work. Worse things have happened. Truffle just constantly has, like, things happening to them, and they're just like, well, whatever, let's throw that on the pile, I guess. I could only feel bad for the poor janitor. The second item was odd, to say the least. It was made out of various materials, metal, glass, and some rubber buttons. I could have sworn I heard my grandma describe a device that was somewhat similar, but I can't remember what she called it. There were rubber buttons on the one side and a weird glass circle on the other. I shrugged it off and set it inside my vest. Oh, it's a camera. That's cool. Remember when Chaos mentioned the green planet? I don't know. The last item was most important to me. It was a letter from Lux offering to babysit Zenithra. I took one of the books in the community center and a spare pen to start writing back immediately. To Judge Lux, I'm glad you have offered to take care of Zenithra while I work, but you should be aware of a recent development. Zenithra has gotten a chemical burn over their eyes and is now blind. I understand if this is a deal breaker for you. If it isn't, please inform me so I can make you aware of when Zenithra is at the hospital. Thank you, from Truffle Balatro. That seemed good enough. I dropped it into Lux's mailbox. After that, it was to the marketplace, purchasing a single blood orange. It was Zenithra's favorite fruit. I left it on their nightstand once I got back to the hospital. It was another typical night. The goddess Chaos is talking about is not Freya, it is a different goddess. Thank you for the clarification. That's so funny, the truffle. Oh my god, the misunderstanding. That's so funny. Introduction. Oh? Lynx's show.
Oh, I'm excited for this one.
Thank you for the captions. It's Gatsby 2.0.
Start off with a Q&A where you, the captain, will be better.
Put Lynx and Gatsby in a boxing ring?
No, we shouldn't do that.
Please don't do that. That would be awful.
Ouch. Interesting. Moss and Violence have a hangout while Violence is locked up. Aww. That's kind of sweet.
Mm. Please don't put Gatsby and Lynx anywhere near each other. I had to deal with Lynx last season and partially this season. It would be awful.
Alright, yeah, okay, I'll read the planting seeds and then the spider, and then after that is everything on the 25th, which I will read tomorrow. Because I do want to spend some time with Virgil on our anniversary. Alright, planting seeds. It was an odd emotion Lux felt as they sat across from Mira in her office. They had both settled into their roles over the last few months, and their communications had become routine. This meeting, however, felt different. They wondered if she thought the same. Of course, Mira appeared relaxed, leading the conversation through the much-needed small talk, as if she had never been found unconscious on the ground in the very same room. Forever the charming judge. Eventually, the conversation turned towards Lux's reason for scheduling the meeting. The people no longer feel safe in the Keepers of Solace, they began. Mira, Waters, even the figures literally falling from the sky. It was a miracle the faction hadn't been abandoned at this point. We need to add more protection. A technicality, perhaps, but Freya would trust Mira's decision just as well. Mira didn't deny it. I'll have a police force available for the neutral regions soon, another of her ever-growing projects. But they wouldn't fit with the Keepers. No, there didn't need to be more tension between the factions. Would you permit a guard team? They would only need to be positioned in public locations. Of course, there would be one for the court and hospital, plus the community center and market were commonly used by all factions. As Mira thought through the request, the only sound in the room was her fingers tapping against the desk. At last she nodded. I like it, but make sure to mention it during the next law discussion. Of course, they agreed. There would be no point putting guards in place if the planet hated the very idea of them. The conversation meandered on to smaller factions, or lower priority, they supposed, though they kept their focus on Mira even during the internal debate. The work was important, no matter what else it was called. As time passed, though, Lux couldn't help but ask a more personal question. How are you feeling? Mira frowned before she could stop herself. Well enough. Her voice held a tone of suspicion. Why are you asking? Why? The sun would set before Lux could finish answering. Mira would never admit it, but she was becoming a leader of Solace in more ways than just the head judge. Yet she still held on to every role as if she would perish if she dared to spread the work, even as more pressure came bearing down on her. But that wasn't really what she was asking. It was too broad of an answer. Instead, they replied, "I'm just worried for you. It's been a hard month." Mira's response was a non-answer at best, but they didn't mind as she made an excuse and eventually led them out the back out the door. Their question wouldn't be the seed to break through that wall of hers, but it wouldn't hurt to add one more to the soil. More people need to care about Mira. Poor thing.
No comments.
Hee.
Yeah.
The spider! Entry booting up. Entry 27, Old Mentor. She was the closest thing I had to a parent. On Orion, I was given to her at a young age. That's how the government operated back then. She had implanted several mechanical appendages to her back, all to perform surgeries and experiments. However, due to reform, they would call her the Spider, but her true name was Olympia Archmagos Seke. Seke? She had removed much of her flesh with steel, but not her face. I guess that it is an aspect I kept as well. It's funny, I did not think she cared that much about me, but my heart is still in a jar on a desk in her own ship. Water scanners did not pick up her ship as it plunged itself into this planet. Of course, my species' cloaking shield technology is better than what they can scrounge around here. I knew whose ship this belonged to. After all, I had been on it many times before. The hull of the ship was rusty and leaked in a sucky green substance. This must have been due to his corruption. The jungle would be twisted into an abomination if I did not move fast. This carrier ship may also hold valuable technology that I could use, if his sickness didn't corrupt it. The footstep that lingered inside of the ship, my people. I must do what every doctor must, and cure this illness. I granted mercy to the crew of this rotten ship on which they begged for centuries. Their cybernetics were rusty, robes torn, and their flesh was bursting from the metal shells. Each plasma bolt I placed brought them salvation. When the crew was freed, I knew who was left. In the command room is where her web laid, her once dignified face now reduced to gray flesh hanging on by threads. Her whites once filled with color were now gray and dull. Her eyes. What? Her eyes once filled with color were now gray and dull. I will not write how this fight went. I will not have it hurt her image. I will, however, write her last words. Words from a voice that was free from centuries of torment. My son, you have made me proud. Please live now on and prosper, Solvex. I had seen many people die, of course, but this had stuck with me. I didn't take any technology I could off that ship, and activated its self-destruction. Oh, I did take any technologies I could, and activated its self-destruction, as well as its shields. The ship was atomized with only some of the area around it damaged. I do mourn for their loss, but I did gain something. This will help my Primarch project.
I want to point out, why is the name Arch? It's
Olympia
Archmagos.
Yeah.
Archmagos. It sounds like Archer.
Oh, ha! That's true.
Oh my god.
Oh man. All right, I'll read through all the 25th stuff and the. Yeah. Are y'all ready for Thanksgiving? No, I'm sick.
Yeah, definitely.
I bought all the stuff
as a
cook.
European.
Well, if any of you are available to, you can always jump in again tomorrow if you want to.
Yippee.
I am also tired. I'm gonna go watch Star
Sure.
Trek with Virgil. Actually, I'm gonna do the voice lines that I need to first, and then watch Star Trek with Virgil. It never
Okay.
ends. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.